What's up, everyone? What is up? What is up? How's everyone doing? Hope everyone has had a good weekend. Hope everyone has had a good weekend. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Um, so let's get started. Let's get started. I hope everyone is doing well. Um, Real Rain, what is up, my brother? What is up? Thank you for being here, my brother. Thank you for being here. So, I had today, I wanted to start out with a story, a conversation I had with a woman today, right? Surprise, surprise. I actually talked to women in real life, but it was just a, kind of a intellectual, conversation in a way, right? Or just a friendly back and forth conversation I had with an older woman today. She was probably about in her 60s, right? So, um, again, you know what? This is a thing where I promote. I don't promote. I want to say I don't promote hate, right? I don't promote hating of women on this channel. I like to say that it's more about holding people accountable, and a lot of times I hold women accountable because I believe very few people do. Okay, a lot of times not neither men, definitely not women, hold other women accountable. We definitely always hold men accountable, which is a good thing. I don't say that's a bad thing, right? Please hold me accountable, right? If I say anything um, that you may find delusional or hypocrite, please, hold me accountable. Uh, you know, um, Talk to me about it. I love to have a conversation. So I had a conversation with this woman, right? An older woman who was in her 60s. And the conversation turned into, she said that she has no kids and she's like an aunt. And I want to say that, I wanted to learn more because I always love to talk to women about it, right? You accept women as they are, just warn others of their nature. Exactly, right? I don't expect to change women. But again, we should understand that men should be aware, right? That women's nature, possible nature. So, but okay, so I was talking to this woman, a woman in her 60s. I was saying, so, with how women are today, right? More and more women are not getting married or delaying marriage or not having kids or delaying kids. And a lot of women are saying that, what, they're better off just not having kids or better off not getting married, better off not being with men. Okay. And so I asked this older woman who's 60, who doesn't have kids. I said, did she want kids? Do she regret it? And she said she does. She regrets not having kids. She, but this is a thing where no younger woman is gonna, in her younger years, will say that they will regret it. Okay, because when you're in your prime, what is there to regret? You're in your prime, so you will be delusional, right? You will live in your delusion. So, still, I wanted to talk to a woman who was like that, right? She's in her 60s. She told me a little bit about her life story, right? So in her 20s, she left her home in her when she was 16, went to school, get her degree, and traveled. She traveled the world in her 20s. She said that she dated just to have fun, right? Dated just to date. Not dating with the purpose of marriage, not dating with a purpose, just dating to see what happens, right? No, no, nothing, right? And she said that she also said that she never. And I said, so you regret not having a husband and children? She said yes, but she said she never had the opportunity. I'm like, what? She's like, oh, I just never had the opportunity. There's more women than men, and I agree. There are more women than men, but to never have the opportunity, I think that's disingenuous for most women. I think most women have had the opportunity to be with a man. Most women are not, they're not virgins. And she's told me her history that she's dated plenty of men. And she's saying this, right? She's saying that, she spent her youth, her 20s traveling, traveling the world, dating a lot of European men, but no end goal in it. You're just dating to have fun. And She also said that, she also spent the time to work, right? She spent traveling the world to have fun. Then she got a job that travels as well. So she focused on her career, focused on herself, focused on traveling, focused on really not putting roots anywhere. And dating, in essence, to facilitate that kind of lifestyle where she's just dating around to have fun, which I believe a lot of young women are doing now, right? A lot of, yo, Jeremiah, what is up? A lot of young women are doing this, right? They're doing situationships, hookup culture. They're focusing on their career. They're focusing on their degree. They're focusing on having fun. They're focusing on enjoying their youth, right? Living it up, which is fine. Let's just say, I'm not saying to change anyone, but why I'm saying is that I wanted to talk to this because it brings up her hypocrisy, her delusion, starting with the journey I see. And that's the thing, right? I'm talking to this 60-year-old woman, right? So she's saying that, you know what, it's too late for her, but she regrets not having kids and not having a husband. But she says that, she never had the opportunity. And I find that living in your delusion, living in your hypocrisy, because you never focus on that when in your youth. You focused on, Alv, what is up, my brother? What is up? Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I missed you, my brother. She told you the story. A million women are having, they don't notice the men around them because they are in their own story. Exactly. And this is why I want to talk about this today, right? It is women are allowed to live in the delusion and continue that delusion throughout their life. So they will never put blame on themselves. Shirking accountability. So in my mind, and I didn't dig in deep because honestly, I didn't want an argument, because I know if I love it. I love to see your face, my brother, right? I didn't want to dig in deep with this woman because, in all honesty, if I start picking and prodding and picking apart her life, I think that would be an argument, right? And I don't want to argue with women, particularly in person, right? I don't want to argue with anyone in person. I just, to be honest, I just want to hear people's story. And when I hear people's story in my own mind, I can dissect it. I can reevaluate. I can just, see their story. And this is a thing where her story, and she, out of her mouth, right? I did ask certain questions to understand it more. But this is a thing where I see the hypocrisy and I see the delusion in it. Okay? Because here's a woman, and she's an educated woman, very smart, right? Educated. But to be honest, even though being educated, being smart, but she suffered from the same thing that most women suffer, the independent mindset, right? Even though you want to have a family, but you are suffering from the feminism, right? Suffering from the misguided feminism, the poison of feminism. So this is the thing where you blame the lack of men, right? You blame the lack of good men. You blame the lack of opportunity to find men, right? But again, you lived your life. And I said this, right? You lived your life, in essence, that facilitated your lack of options. Where, like I said, you constantly traveled, which is not easy to find a man. You constantly dated men where you didn't date men with purpose. You date men for fun, right? You date men for fun. You date men to just enjoy your time, enjoy your youth. So that's another factor that will, counteract you settling down. And then you focus on your career and you use your 20s and your 30s. So only then when you're in your later years, your later 30s and up, is now when you focus on a man. And and this is the thing where a lot of women don't realize they're wasting their time. A lot of women think that, oh, you know what? Let me have fun in my 20s and early 30s. And then when I want to settle down, there'll be men there for me. But yes, there are men there, but are there men that you want? Instead of focusing in your true prime to find a good man, find a man that you would want to settle with, right? Settle down with. No, you want to have fun in those years. And then wait until you're past your prime or close to passing your prime and focus on a man. But a lot of women don't realize this, right? You made men the last on your priority list, right? Women do this all the time, right? Their fun is on top of their priority list. Their education is on top of their priority list. Their career is on top of their priority list. And those all usually succeed, or usually women accomplish it. Right? So this is the insanity of a lot of women. You put so much other things on the top of your priority list, and then you usually women succeed in it or accomplish it. And then women have men at the bottom of their priority list, and then later on move men up their priority list, and then wonder why they fail at it. Because you never put men on the priority list. You never made men important in your life. So when men then see that, okay, now that you are past your prime, now that you had fun, now that you rack up a body count, now that you honestly, made yourself, in my opinion, less, great to be with, personality wise, life experience, red flags, whatever, older age, less beauty, whatever you want to say. Now you want the good men. Now you want the stable men. Now you want men that are marriage material. But you didn't want to marry me when you're young, in your prime, and, less jaded by the world, less, influenced by the world, right? Now that you are past it, now that you have changed maybe your, whatever else, now you want me? So I wasn't on your priority list before, but now, years later, after you're done having your fun, now you want me? So you want me at technically your worst, but you want me at my best? No. So this is a lot of women think that, okay, now, of course you don't have the options for the men you want. So here's an older woman, and I didn't dissect it in her face because honestly I didn't want to, I didn't want a battle or anything. But I found the hypocrisy and the delusion in her statement that, I never had the opportunity. I'm sorry. I believe 90 to 99% of women have had the opportunity to marry a man. You just didn't want to marry a man, right? When you had the opportunity. You wanted to marry a man whenever you choose. And that's the insanity of it. That's the insanity. Women think that they can dictate everything in their life. And men will just fall in line, right? Men will just fall, in line to whenever women decide, oh, I'm ready. Now you need to be ready. And this is the insanity. So this is why I've said this before, right? I'm not here to hate women. I'm here to support men, right? To give men a little bit of entertainment, to, help men understand, see the other things, see other views. And to take men to, focus on yourself, right? Focus on loving yourself, focus on gaining self-respect, and travel the world. There are other women in this world that, will follow you on your time schedule, on your plan, right? They follow you. You don't follow them. That's how I see it. So, because in my opinion, right? Never be a man that a woman settle for. Never, right? Never be her last option, her last choice. Don't ever be a woman's last choice in life, because that will never be a good thing, in my opinion. Jeremy or Alan, early Merry Christmas. Seriously, bro, you hope you're doing all right this week. You got any plans for Christmas? I will probably be doing a stream. I don't, I gave my daughter her her Christmas gifts already. So, I probably won't be doing much. I'll probably be doing a stream. Like last year I did a stream, with you guys. So, with my online family. So I'll probably be doing that. Hope you guys are all doing well, right? If you guys aren't doing nothing, check me out on the holiday stream. But yes, I just thought that was an interesting story, and I wanted to share that story with you guys. I think it was, a little bit, telling to talk to an older woman and hear her regrets, hear a bit of her life story, and hear how even older women still think about life. And, I just thought it was funny. I thought it was interesting. What do you guys think? You know, I, again, I just, one of the things I think is fun, right, is just to really just dissect people's views, really dissect how they view their own selves, how they view their life and stuff. I think that's fun. So I think that's interesting. So I thought it was an interesting story. I wonder you guys, what do you guys think? But yeah. I'm probably good. I'm still, what is it? I'll probably be doing a, yeah, Thursday. Actually, I don't know what I'm going to be. I don't usually do a stream on Thursday. I'll think about it, right? I forgot what day it falls under. Then I don't know if I'm going to do a Christmas stream, because last time, I forgot, last year it fall on a different day. What day did it fall under? Yeah, last year it was a Wednesday, so I had a Christmas stream. I don't know if I'm going to do a Christmas stream this year. I'll probably do a new Christmas Eve stream. So I'll probably be just chilling at home. I'll probably just be chilling at home and see. But I love you guys, right? Hope you guys will have a good Christmas, all right? You guys are amazing. Thank you for all the love and support, right? You guys are all amazing. Alan, you're amazing, my brother. I love you, right? As much as we butt heads, I still love you, right? You keep my Wednesdays live stream interesting. So I respect you and I love you for that, right? I respect you and I love you for that, right? I want to promote a community that, we can respect each other regardless of our point of views. So I love you guys. All right, let's get started. We can always agree to disagree 100%, right? And I want to promote that, right? Us as peoples, we could always do that, right? Agree to disagree. If we can't find common ground, if we can't find common ground, we agree to disagree. Because again, we're civilized, and that's the point, right? We should be respectful to each other nevertheless. So I love it. All right, I wanted to watch this clip, right, or this video, because this is a sad video, okay? This recently happened, so I wanted to check it out. It's a sad clip. It's a sad video, right? But I still wanted to check it out.
Hey, come here, kid. Come here, buddy. Come here.
On January 26, 2024, a family of 5, a father, a mother, their 20-year-old son, and 2 young children under the age of 5, were living a normal day inside their home on 94th Avenue Northwest in Coon Rapids, Minnesota, completely unaware of what was coming their way, as a navy blue Nissan Altima pulled up outside, and 3 suspects stepped out, 2 of them dressed in UPS-style uniforms, pretending to be delivery workers while secretly planning a robbery. A plan that would, within minutes, explode into a brutal encounter that would shock the entire community.
Please, right? If you don't see any delivery trucks, don't do that, right? Don't open, to be honest, it's so dangerous, right? It's so dangerous. The world is very ugly, right? The world is very ugly. If you don't see any delivery trucks, don't open the door for people. It's disgusting. It's sad.
Our coverage is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. A crash, a fall, a serious injury that...
one of the victims steps out, apparently completely unaware the delivery is a setup.
Exactly. Stay strapped. Stay strapped. I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna get one, right? I think I'm gonna get myself something pretty soon. Seriously, why are you doing that? Why don't you just take the package? Right? If this is, we got to be smarter, right? I'm sorry, peace is it seems like the default in the West, but it's not.
Big dog. Ain't no big dog, is it? Ain't no big dog, is it? Not yet. Big dog. Hey, check it out. Come here. Don't move. Don't move. Move your hand. Move your hand. Move your hand. Open the door. Move in there. Move like that. Wait. Open the door. Move on below you. Hey, don't move.
The home security camera captures the third suspect come up the driveway after he's waved in by the other men.
Come on. She's right there. Look at your phone. I'm not. I swear I'm not. I swear. Una pistola a mi hijo. Tienen una pistola a mi hijo. Dos morenos. Mom. Yeah. Please. Don't do anything, please.
The mother managed to call 911, leaving the line open so dispatchers could hear what was happening as the chaos unfolded.
911, see, I just see emergency. Hello?
Oh my gosh. Give me the money. And I ain't playing. Look. I know. Hey, Mario Alberto. Come on with the money, man.
Jeremiah. Oh, and racist. Stay racist. Almost more important than staying strapped.
Ow! Stop playing with me.
Ow!
Give me the money.
Okay.
I'm gonna smack out you.
Please don't. I will give you whatever you want.
Go give me the money then.
Okay, that's all.
Come on. You get where you move to.
Oh my God.
Get up.
I'm getting up.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna smack out your son.
Oh, okay, I'm going.
Come on in.
Okay.
All right, where the money? Go get it. Yeah. Go get it.
It's right here.
Get it. Come on. Open it. Man,
Don't move.
Hurry up. Just hold it. Sit down. If you move, open. Where is it?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get something, right? The world is just unkind. Sisum, what is up, my brother? Mr. Smith, my brother.
This ain't all the man. You finna play with me, so I gotta get violent.
No, please
Okay.
don't. That's all the money we have.
This ain't nothing.
That's all we have.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
oh, it's all we have. Oh my God, it's all we have. Oh my God, no. Oh my God, no. It's all we have. Oh my God.
With no mercy, one of the intruders turns on the father, 39-year-old Mario Alberto Trejo Estrada, and a single shot to the head ends his life in the entryway of the home.
Where are my babies?
I have money for you.
Where are my babies? Where are my babies?
I have money for you.
Where are my babies?
Oh my God.
The terrifying footage continues as the intruders turn their violence toward the mother and her 20-year-old son, all while the 2 young children are still in the home. The victims are later identified as 42-year-old Shannon Patricia Youngworth and her son, 20-year-old Jorge Alexander Reyes Youngworth. Leaving the 2 young children in a state of unimaginable trauma, the intruders rushed to destroy evidence before fleeing the scene, unaware that nearly every moment of their crime had already been captured on camera.
So sad. Get house cameras, my brothers. Get house cameras, right? Get cameras.
Meanwhile, inside the home, a heartbreaking act of bravery unfolds. The older child, despite being just a toddler himself, pulls his little sibling away, shielding them from the sight of their mother on the floor. A moment of pure innocence and instinct, leaving investigators and everyone who later watched this footage stunned.
Yeah, all that for like pocket money.
Just minutes later, officers arrive at the house after being dispatched to the 911 call placed by the mother, unaware of what they are about to walk into.
Police
The
department.
children. Sad. Disgusting.
I heard kids screaming in there.
This is a thing where I said this before, right? My brothers, right? I said this before, right? I make about 45K a year, right? It's nothing. The amount of money I make is chump change. It's nothing. It's below the average. The amount of money I make, about 45K a year. 40 to 45K a year. That is nothing, right? The average men in the US make about 50. So I make less than that. But my net worth is over 300,000. Right? This is why I promote my brothers. We need to create a generation. Just work hard, but also work smart. Don't be a fucking low-life degenerate criminal. This is the thing where I want to promote more men. You can work hard, but you can work smart as well. Invest your money. Learn to save. Learn to budget. And invest. Stop doing the easy way out or the stupid shit. Harming other people, being degenerates. This is fucking loser mentality. Right? Teach your kids, teach young men to save, to budget, invest. Work hard for your money. Be disciplined. Shit like this is sad. This is sad right here, right? That, you know what? You need to resort to killing people, to burglarizing people for what? 1,000, 2,000, 5,000? That's nothing, right? That's not worth killing people. That's not worth going to prison for.
Police department. 1409. Give us the channel for now. I got a male down on the ground. I got blood.
Can I have the police? Police department.
Jake, come here, kid. Come here, buddy. Come here. 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 Yep. I think they're dead. Come here. There's another kid. Come here, buddy. Come here. There's another kid. Come here, buddy. So he's through the kitchen. Hey, buddy. I can see his diaper now. He's a little closer. No, he's pretty far in there. You see his diaper? See it on the ground.
I can't see past it.
Yep. Stay with the kid for now. We're going to get you another kid here in a second. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here, bud. Come here, bud. Kyle, cover me. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here, bud. Come here, bud. Kyle, cover me. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come here. I need you to come with me.
We're trying to get the kid out.
Come here, bud. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come here. Come here.
I got candies. Come on.
Come here. Come here. It's okay. It's okay.
Come on.
Come here.
Come
here, kiddo. Come here, kiddo.
Walking
Come here.
1309, you've got 2 more cars coming to the area. 31.
Come here, bud.
Exactly. Right? Invest in high yield. There's so many ways, right? For you to be better financially. Like young men do not have to resort to this degenerate behavior, right? You don't have to resort to being a criminal to make money, to make a living. And the field crime rates are high too, due to drug addiction. If the criminal can't afford the drugs anymore. That's the thing where it's disgusting.
After rescuing the 2 young children, officers were faced with a horrifying scene. 3 victims, each killed by a gunshot wound to the head. The house was immediately secured, and investigators began meticulously collecting evidence, including physical items and surveillance footage from cameras throughout the home, in an effort to identify the perpetrators. The navy blue Nissan Altima was traced to 39-year-old Alonzo Pierre Mingo, who was arrested later that day after being spotted leaving his Fridley residence. Further investigation, including home surveillance, DNA evidence, and...
These men need to be killed. I've said this before, right? Bring back execution. You need to bring back execution, right? The death penalty. If you think it's okay to take a life, you should be fine to have your life taken. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just our justice system isn't. It punishes. I've said this before in like TikTok videos that we punish people, like let's say with small offenses, too harshly, while we punish people with like big offenses not harsh enough. Life sentence? No, that's not good enough. I'm sorry. You don't deserve to live. I'm sorry. You don't deserve to waste taxpayers' money.
Cell phone records led law enforcement to the 2 other suspects, brothers Omari Malik Shah.
And that's the thing, right? I mean, like, you know, even the black community, you should be able just invest your money. Invest your money. Make your money work for you, right? This is the thing where I've said this before. I promote all men, all minorities to invest. Invest. Make your money work for you, right? Be smart with your money.
Shumpert and Demetrius Trenton Shumpert, both of whom were arrested shortly thereafter. All the evidence, from security footage to forensic and digital data, pointed directly to the Shumpert brothers, who had tried to cover their faces, leading straight to the interrogations.
Do you know the incident I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. So you had no idea?
I know that somebody got locked up.
Who got locked up?
Somebody is a name that you saying.
Who got locked up?
The name that you saying. You said somebody named Alonzo or something like that.
Okay. But you know Alonzo?
Yeah, a little bit. I know of him.
Okay. You knew more of just of him, right? You guys go way back.
No.
To Chicago.
I'll say yeah.
I won't.
I'll say yeah. No, I say yeah.
Don't, somewhat of the same level of respect, right?
Yeah, but
we do our
like you saying way back, like basically like friends, anything like that? No.
Not friends.
No.
All right, but you've known him all the way back to Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you living now?
Huh?
Where are you living now?
Alone in Minneapolis.
When's the last time you talked with Alonzo?
I'm gonna say like a month ago or something like that.
A month ago?
Like a month and a half.
Real Rain Setter, if you save $100 from every paycheck and you get paid bi-weekly, you'll have $2,600 at the end of the year. Money is just math and habits. I did an account, right, where I did an account a while ago, right? A investment account where every week I put $50. $50, not much, right? Every week I did $50. After, let's say, about 3 years, about 3 years or so, that 50 turned into $50 every week. Okay. That 50 turned into about 13,000. Put it into investments. Right. And I showed you, you can do it as, even 50. You could do it even lower. But again, making your money work for you. That's the importance of it.
I think
A month and a half ago?
yeah.
Okay. That's a lot. So that was already on camera. That was already put on the news. It already showed Alonzo shooting a person. Okay? I don't know if I explained it well to you or not, but the more information I tell you, the less you can tell me to
No,
help.
but I was saying you can't tell me about that because I heard about it. The whole world know about it.
Sure.
That's everywhere you go at work. Hey, you heard about what happened? Somebody got killed in Coon Rapids. 4, 5 people. How many more people got killed? I don't know.
Okay.
So what did I do?
You were there.
Wasn't there.
You were. I mean, you're probably not going to take my word for it or anything, but I'm not lying to you. I'm not making stuff up. We had the pull camera. Well, we didn't. Somebody had a pull camera in the house. When we see you pull up, we see the 3 of you get out, walk up to the house. It's just you and Alonzo. He knocks on the door. You don't come to the door at first, and you start walking away. As you guys are partway down the street, or partway down the driveway, he comes outside, so you guys walk back. Okay? On the door there was a camera. And you had gloves on, you had a mask on, but we're still able to tell it's you.
With a mask on.
Yeah. Okay? And then who?
Well, there are, this is a thing where investing in the S&P, right? Investing in the S&P, it actually the interest, goes, it grows faster than inflation, right? So it counteracts inflation. So investing is very important. Investing is a big thing.
You wave up.
I ain't waved nobody.
You're sitting in the car and you waved him up.
You said I was sitting in the car?
No, he was sitting in the car. The third person was sitting in the car and you waved him up.
I don't know.
Okay?
I don't know who that was. I don't know who that was with no mask on, but it showed it wasn't me. You didn't ask me where was I at, or was I somewhere else, or nothing.
Where were you? I know where you were, but where were you? And then I'll follow up on that. And
You know I was there already, right? That what you said?
I do, but if you're saying you're somewhere else, you tell me where you were, who you talked to, and I'll follow up with them and rule you out. That's only fair, right?
That's crazy. You say on the 13th?
The 26th. January 26th.
I know I wasn't there. I wasn't at nobody else. I wasn't at nobody's house.
Okay. We go in a crime scene, the whole 9 yards. You're touching.
Yeah, to be honest, for me, homes are not as liquid, right? Buying homes is not as liquid as buying stocks, in my opinion, right? So and it's very tricky, right? Right now, it's not it fluctuates how easy it could be to sell a house or how quickly you can sell a house. So for me, I mean, buying a property is always a good thing, but I believe stocks is the where to go for me. Stock is more liquid, and you don't need as much initial capital. Red Door, what's up, my sister?
Touching your face, you're hitting the
Can I
little.
see?
Yeah, I'll grab them.
You said I'm hitting what?
You're touching your face. You got a mask on. Yeah. You're touching your face. You're touching the lizard cage. You're touching your face. You're touching different areas. You're breathing through the mask. Okay. We're getting to the point of the evidence is mounting up so high, it's hard to get out from it. Okay. There's also audio, and you can be heard on there saying.
Yeah, for me, like the money markets and high yield saving account, I was doing that for a little bit until I felt like, interest rates were going down, right? Interest rates were going down. So it didn't make sense for me to put money in high yield saving account. Now, you could do that on the side, right? If you have a good amount of money, put a bit in a savings account for safety, for a rainy day, while I think put some of it, the rest into investment accounts. So
Ain't no big dog, is it?
What?
Ain't no big dog, is it?
What do that mean?
Ain't no big dogs, is it?
Not yet.
You tell me. Can you say that?
Why would I say it? What do that mean?
That's what you said when you were there. And you also have a very distinct voice.
I don't say nothing like that. I don't know what that mean. What do that mean?
Oh, that's just what you said when you were walking up and you were talking
Why would you
to
want me to say it?
the guy in the driveway.
Why would you want me to say it?
So that I can compare it to what I heard on the video. Right?
I'm not gonna say nothing.
Okay. I'm just saying...
You saying you knew I was there already, so why you want me to say it?
Well,
anything.
I can say that you were there all day. And I can prove that you were there, and I can prove what happened because...
You can prove I was there? Sure.
Yeah, because everything is on video, man.
26. Yeah, the 26. That's the 26th. That's the day I couldn't go to work because I had my baby with me.
Okay.
And my baby mama, she wasn't trying to come get him, and I didn't go to work on that day.
Okay. Where were you?
I was in the house.
Is that what you're gonna go with? That's what you're gonna stick with? You were never at the house or anything?
No, I wasn't at the house. I see the photos that you got.
Yeah, I can get you still photos of it. Doing good? You still want me to get warm water or cold water? Alright. Give you this one. You can grab it, you can hold it if you want.
I don't hold it.
You don't need to?
And that supposed to be me? Or somebody else?
I know it's you. I can print off a couple more, but I don't know if that's going to convince you or not. But just so you know, I'm not lying to you.
I know you ain't lying.
On any of this. Okay?
All three suspects in the Coon Rapids triple homicide were indicted on multiple counts of first-degree murder, upgrading their initial charges of second-degree murder. Alonzo Pierre Mingo, identified as the alleged gunman, was found guilty by a jury on multiple counts, including 4 counts of first-degree murder. In September 2025, Mingo was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
I'm sorry. He should get unalived. He should be unalived. It's just my opinion. But no, his life shouldn't be on the taxpayers' money.
Demetrius Trenton Schumpert, who participated as an accomplice in the robbery, was indicted on 6 counts of first-degree murder. Prosecutors sought an aggravated sentence against him, citing the particularly cruel treatment of the victims, the involvement of 3 or more active participants, and the fact that the crime occurred in the presence of 2 minor children. On November 20th, 2025, Demetrius Schumpert was found guilty on all counts of first-degree murder and faces the same mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole when he is sentenced in January of 2026. The third co-defendant, Omari Malik Schumpert, was convicted in December 2025 on 5 counts of first-degree murder, 3 counts of second-degree murder, and 2 counts of aggravated robbery. He is also scheduled to be sentenced in January 2000.
It didn't look like they got any money. Let's be honest, it didn't look like they got anything from it. Right? So they killed 3 people and got nothing for it. That's the stupidity of it, right? This is a thing where I think this is just senseless. This is just idiotic. There are better ways. There are better ways in life. Shit like this is sad. It really is. Things like that is just sad. Ugh. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Let's check out some TikTok videos. Crazy. Crazy stuff. All right, let's check out some TikTok videos. Let's check this one out.
This Diary of a CEO podcast is the most interesting piece of media I've consumed all year. It has on Scott Galloway, who's an NYU marketing professor, and Logan Ure, who's a behavioral scientist and director of relationship science at Hinge, to talk about a lot of different things, but one of the main things that stuck with me was modern day dating. They talk about how in the past,
Steve, what is up, my brother?
women have dated for economical and social status, and that's worked in the past. But today, as women are becoming more educated and more successful, this no longer works. And when you hear women say there's not enough good men to go around, that's no longer a lie. They talk about how women normally date horizontally and up when men date horizontally and down. And that's having a mismatch of finding the right partner for a lot of these women. Another really interesting point that this podcast made is that everyone has like a perceived attractiveness that they think they are. But if a woman of like this perceived attractiveness sleeps with someone that's about this perceived attractiveness, this is now their baseline. So they think any man below this is not worthy of them, even though this man only wanted to sleep with her. He never really actually wanted to be with her. This makes me think about how there's been a change in like the modern dating apps. A lot of people are sick of swiping on Hinge, but a lot of these modern dating apps, there's a fee to participate and to find a meaningful connection because they're no longer getting you to stay on the app by swiping. There's no doubt in my mind that women will pay the price to find love of their life. I mean, you have...
This is a thing where I think women aren't becoming, they're not becoming successful in, their personal life. Or at least in their relationship life. She is right. Yes. Well, she is, explaining that podcast.
Smart, ambitious women who have controlled all their success so far, and the one thing out of their control is dating. They will pay. But I just don't think that the man that they're looking for on paper, let's say someone tall, funny, smart, ambitious, is going to be using these apps. One, because of pride, and two, because I truly think that these men can walk into the bar and have any woman they want. The podcast also talks...
That was weird about the pride thing. Why would men not use those apps because of pride? I think they don't use the apps because they don't need to. They're not having a hard time with dating.
Talks about how women are obviously more independent and successful on their own now, but there's also a negative impact to society of them not having partnerships and not having someone to learn from every day, someone to talk about their day with. And I'm just wondering, like, how as a society are we going to solve this? This diary...
Then a white liberal, yes. So this is the thing where we're seeing the results now, where a lot of women are, in my opinion, just egotistical. So we'll see that. We'll checking that out.
Being pretty makes going out in public so fucking intimidating. And guys make it so obvious too. Like, I hear you. Like, I literally hear what you're whispering to your friends, and I see you all fucking staring at me. Being pretty makes going out in public so fucking intimidating. And guys make it so obvious too. Like, I hear you. Like, I literally hear what you're whispering to your friends, and I see you all fucking staring at me. And then also... Then, like, this guy literally tried to, like, walk into me to, like, get my... I'm like, oh my fucking God. And this is not even to be like, oh my God, I'm just so beautiful. But it really is true. Like, going in public, being a pretty girl, you know you're being looked at. And it's intimidating. Like, I don't know. I also didn't grow up looking like this. And so being seen, like, all eyes on me like this gives me so much fucking anxiety. And honestly, what I think it actually is that makes it a lot worse is now that I have a social media following, I hear people being like, oh, I follow her on Instagram, or like people will come up to me, which is so much fucking better. Please, if you see me in person, please just come say hi to me, because when I can tell that you recognize me and you're talking about me or you're saying things.
Yo, Real Rain. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. I've been binging Caleb Hammer lately, and most of the money issues come from the women on the show more than the boyfriend or husband. I agree, but this is a thing where it's men. This is a thing where we're having more and more passive men. We are having more and more passive men, right? More and more men that do not lead, they follow, right? More and more men that don't lead, they follow. And you're seeing that. Women are the leaders in relationships nowadays. Women. So it's a crazy thing.
And I can hear you, it gives me so much anxiety. But I love when people come up to me. That does not make me nervous. It's knowing that I'm being like heard or seen, but like them not coming up to me, that makes me fucking nervous. But this is just something I'm learning and working on. But oh my gosh, I went to the mall today for the first time in so long, and I'm not gonna lie, I never want to do it again, and I never want to go in public again by myself, because I don't know, I need to get used to just like being seen and being looked at and being like whispered about, but it's not normal. So I don't know, it just, my heart rate is fucking at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Anyways, to the people who do come up and say hi, thank you, because first of all, you're all like normal girls my age. You're all so fucking pretty and cool, and it just like puts me at ease. And also then I like feel like I have a friend there, like I don't know, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's so cool, like my hard work, like these followers are actually real fucking people my age who get me. So thank you, it's the coolest thing ever, and every single time I'm like, holy shit, like that was so cool. But anyways, love you guys, follow for more.
And this is the, you know, I think more and more women are becoming delusional. They are becoming egotistical, narcissistic. They live in their own head. They are stars. Now, she has a decent amount of followings, right? About 40K following. So, but this is a thing where it's making women delusional. It's inflating women's ego, making women cocky. Big bars, what is up, my brother? And I've seen plenty of videos where, you know, you see this, right? Where women give other women validation. You know, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're a queen, you're a goddess, you know, all this shit. And it's just making women egotistical.
Being pretty and TikTok famous, not for the weak, okay? Like, this isn't talked about enough. It is so hard being like perfect and pretty and showing your face in public. I'm sorry, give me a second. Because everywhere I go, everyone's pointing at me and whispering to each other like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. And like, I'm a real person too. Like, you can talk to me like a normal human being. Like, tell me I'm pretty.
Yo, Big Bars and Artie, my brothers. Thank you for being here.
Won't bite you. Like, I'm not a celebrity. I don't know, and like, I think people think I have life on easy mode, but every time I go in public, everyone's pointing at my face and pointing at my butt, and I'm like, just stop. This lifestyle is just like so difficult, and I just don't know, like, I wanted to come on here and like share that with you guys and be transparent, because it's just like, I'm going through a lot right now. Being pretty and
Can we talk about when a guy makes a girl pay, or he doesn't open the door for her, or he's just not being a gentleman, and he's like, well, you wanted equality.
Yes, women lie to each other and to themselves. It's sad. It is sad. A lot of women, well, again, this is the delusion that women are allowed to live in. No one holds women accountable, right? No one, you know, bring women down to be more sensible. Steve, my brother, newsflash, there are 5,300, there are 5,304 fewer simps every day. We are making progress. Happy holidays. Yo, you guys are amazing. Thank you for the love. Yes, I hope so, right? I hope we can, right, do as much as we can to stop the simping.
Are you stupid? Are you stupid? We wanted equal rights, like women should be able to vote and stuff. What? That's literally it. No one asked to pay for anything. No one asked to open their own doors or carry their own suitcases. Don't be manipulative like that. That's crazy. Don't flip it on us like that. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? We wanted to be able to speak and have a voice and get jobs if we wanted to. But please, That argument is so crazy to me. It's really funny. I'm like, oh, you're stupid. Can we talk about when a guy makes a girl pay, or he doesn't open the door for her, or he's just not being a gentleman and he's like, well, you wanted equality. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? We wanted equal rights, like women should be able to vote and stuff. What? That's literally it. No one asked to pay for anything. No one asked to open their own doors or carry their own suitcases.
You wanted to be treated like an equal, right? You wanted to be treated like an equal. So now that you are, right? Constantly today, you hear constantly everything's about the patriarchy, right? Constantly everything is about, what do women get out of things? Well, why would men do shit for you, right? When they're not getting anything out of it. It's the insanity. It's 100% the insanity. You wanted to be treated like equals, not second-class citizens. Fine. Okay. Well, there comes with consequences for that. There comes with a new status quo. You are now treated like an equal. You are now treated like every other person.
Don't be manipulative like that. That's crazy. Don't flip it
Really? Who's the manipulator? Really?
on us like that. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? We wanted to be able to speak and have a voice and get jobs.
David, exactly. Chivalry and equality don't mix. It doesn't. Because to treat someone like an equal, you can't treat them special, right? Equality is cruelty to the privileged. Yes.
If we wanted to. But please, that argument is so crazy to me. It's really funny. I'm like, oh, you're stupid. Can we talk about
guys, give me a minute, right? Give me a minute. Sorry about that. Really? It's crazy.
I'm pretty and I know I'm pretty. Going out in public is stressful sometimes because everyone's looking at you and like guys will do things to get your attention, and especially now that I have a following, it's just a different experience.
Yes, actual equality is scary to them. Okay, the pace that men are on. This is a thing where women can't handle it. Women can't handle actual equality. But the sad part is that they ask for it. Women ask for equality. Now men are giving it. I believe, in my opinion, I think men care more about equality than women do. Because this is the thing where men were always treated like less. Yeah, I read some of it, right? I did read it. I read the list. I mean, I get it, right? I mean, I've been actually demonetized twice by YouTube already, so I definitely understand it. But that was before, so I get it. It's a 5-page. I read some of it. I gotta take more time to look through it more. But yeah, it's crazy.
Experience than it used to be before I got a nose job and hair extensions and lost weight and started posting on social media, and people, mostly guys, trying to gaslight me. I'm pretty and I know I'm pretty. Going out in public is stressful sometimes because everyone's looking at you and like guys will do things to get your attention, and especially now that I have a following, it's just a different experience than it used to be before I got a nose job and hair extensions and lost weight and started posting on social media, and people, mostly guys, trying to gaslight me and be like, you're not pretty, you're chopped. Bitch, you literally cannot tell me that I'm not objectively pretty. I fit the beauty standard.
This just shows me that you cannot buy confidence.
I agree, right? Shame has been removed. This is a thing where We got to hold people accountable, right? This is why I've always said to my brothers, you know what? If I say something stupid, hold me accountable. If I say something stupid, hold me accountable. We are too many people who don't understand shame, who don't even understand being humble, right? They're delusional. It's crazy. And this is the thing, that woman, she's average. I'm sorry. All the things she said she's got done to herself, it only made her look average. I'm sorry. It just made her look average.
You cannot buy self-love, because this is not the video of a confident girl who loves herself. This is the video of a girl who is trying to justify her purchases. She mentions right away her plastic surgery, her extensions, her amount of followers, her products. She's more focused on validation from those followers she keeps talking about than she is on
Terminator, my brother. I love you, my brother. Thank you for the love.
Any type of self-worth. She really needed to work on herself before she got any.
Which is insane. Real Raid said it, right? She's like about a 6. With all that surgery, you became a 6? God dang. What would you like before the surgery? What were you like before the surgery? Were you a 3? Oh my God. And yes, delusion thrives in audience. Yes, that's what modern women do. Exactly. That's the danger right here, right? This is the power of social media. This is the addiction of social media. This is why women can stay in delusion. This is why women are addicted to it, right? Are there any humble women left these days? Very few. Very few. 100% she wants validations. I agree.
Work done. And because of that, what we see in these videos is not a confident young woman who loves herself. It's an insecure girl who wants to sit at the head of the cool girl table because she bought her way in. Another thing that really drives me crazy is that she calls everyone who disagrees with her or is trying to critique her as a bot, which is a horrible byproduct of like the society that we're living in right now, which is like a whole other topic. But just in this scenario specifically, her writing off every criticism that people are coming at her with as just like not even a real person just shows that she is so locked into her own thoughts that she can't see past them and into the real world. And that is a symptom of a deeply insecure person. Insecure people are so focused on themselves. They are so deeply just in tunnel vision and cannot hear anyone outside of them saying positive or negatively about them. They're just focused on what's going on in here. And calling everyone a bot is just a horrible symptom of that. And what she's not hearing is people pointing out that she is unattractive from the inside and it's seeping out of her pores. Her anger.
I said this before, right? This is the insanity of modern day women. Average women. That woman, right? She's average at best, a 6, right? Maybe cute. The problem is that I'm seeing more and more, right? Average women, they are average at best outside and they're ugly inside. The ego that so many women have, right? The lack of humbleness, the cockiness, the narcissistic traits, the egotistical mindset. It's just making a lot of women, honestly, just ugly inside while they look average outside. And this is the problem with a lot of modern day dating. A lot of women thinking that they're above so many men, it is what it is, right? But again, when you think you're above so many men, you think that very few men qualify for you. Fine, it is what it is. But then you wonder why men are not wanting to deal with it. Men don't want to deal with it. If you think you're above me, fine, that is you, right? I'm not trying to change you. I'm not trying to, combat your point of views. I'm going to walk away. So this is why a lot of men go MGTOW, because they're tired of this. Like, we are average. We are pretty much on equal standing, but because your overinflated ego, you think you're better than me. You think you're better than me? You think I'm not good enough for you. So many women think that men are not upgrading, men are not, becoming high value, or men are not, improving. But here's the thing, improving for what? Improving for what? So many women they're still average at best. They got a job, great, like every man. You can pay your own bills, great, like every man. You could buy your own shit, great like every man. So what makes you so great? What makes all these women so amazing? Okay? What makes these women so amazing? Being an adult doesn't make you that much amazing. Doesn't really make you amazing at all. Okay, and here's the thing: more and more men, right, know how to take care of themselves. They know how to cook. They know how to cook for themselves. They know how to clean. Right? I think more and more men are becoming more emotionally intelligent, more intelligent. Period. So, again, women are not becoming better like that. Boogie got red pilled in college, refused to go to grad school. Yo, I wish I didn't go.
And unhappiness at the world for not handing her everything she wants now that she is pretty and attractive is making her look putrid. Oh, you want this open? And then when she says that she fits the beauty standard, I hate to say this, but fitting the beauty standard isn't a flex because it's merely the standard by definition. You need something special about you. You need it, right? And this attitude is not it. When you don't have it, meeting the standard means nothing. And when you have it...
Zyrax, my sister. We are amazing. We have the power. JK. You know, this is a thing where I want to say this, right? I've said this countless times before. It's not about hating women, right? I always like it that I want to always promote this. My videos is not about hating women. It's about showing that women are no better than men. Women are not better than men. I don't promote that men are so much better than women. I don't. That's not how my thing is. So I'm saying that bring it down. We're average. We are all average at best. Most of us are average at best. And this is the thing. Men live in reality. Men don't come out here and claiming that they're so much better than women. Yet women do it all the time. Women do it all the time, claiming that they're better than men. It's that insanity, right? It's that delusion that, you know, we allow women to live in.
You don't even need to be in the beauty standard. It's like, it is the ultimate card. It's not a face card. It's not an aura card. It's just it. And once you have it, beauty standard means nothing. And if you're in the beauty standard and you don't have even a small amount of it, you might as well just not even be in the beauty standard. Bottom line, this girl's personality is foul. Her soul is rancid. I'm not gonna sit here and listen to anybody in my comments say, but what if she's a great person? What if she does this? I actually follow her and she does this, that, whatever. This is a lot of people's first impression of her, and first impressions mean something. And if it is rage bait and I'm falling for it, there is someone out there, some insecure.
Thank you, Zyrak. God, I love it. I love it. I know you don't hate women. I get your purpose here on you. Thank you. I mean, I'd say it more to general. I say it more for generalization, okay? I get all those comments all the time, right? Oh, you hate women. Well, if you say so. But I want to always make it a point that I don't. My point is to hold people accountable, particularly women, because to be honest, women are usually the ones who are living in delusion.
Person out there who probably agreed with her, who's gonna hate watch this, and maybe it changes their mind and makes them a better person. So I don't care if it's rage bait, I'm still gonna talk about it. I don't care how many followers she gets from being this awful person. No amount of followers is going to make her a better person until she decides to no longer seek validation from that and her looks that she's purchased and works on herself.
I'm pretty and I know I'm pretty. Going out in public is stressful sometimes because everyone's...
I'm curious y'all's take on this. Is it bad to say yes to a date to someone that you're like 99 pretty sure you're not interested in? Or maybe even 100%? I was asked out by this guy a while ago who I had known previously, and I knew he was a good guy, but I just really didn't see any kind of romantic connection there. And I told my friend that I was still gonna go, and she was kind of like, wait, but you already know you're not interested. But I thought, well, he asked, and he liked that he wants to spend time with me, and that's something I would be open to, even though I was pretty sure I'm not romantically interested. And she was like, wait, no, then you shouldn't be going. So I'm curious if y'all think that's like bad, like I shouldn't be doing that, or if it's like, no, they asked you on a date, they asked you for your time and you agreed. I'm curious y'all's take on this. Is it bad to say yes to a date to someone that you're...
And I've said this before, out from the wind's mouth, okay? I believe, I'm not saying that I have a study on this, I'm not saying I have a statistic on this, but I believe a lot, if not the majority, of women that go on dates, right? Women that go on dates with men nowadays, right? A lot, if not majority, women are going on dates with men they don't like. Women are going on dates with men they're not attracted to. Women are going on dates that they're not really all that interested in. So here's the thing. Okay? Women are going on dates already knowing that they will most likely not see the man anymore. And this is why I warn men. This is why men's content is important. Because this right here is free food, right? Free food, free entertainment. And this is the problem. Men need to have boundaries. Do not be a man a woman settles for. Do not be a man that women just make you as entertainment. Okay? Because here's the thing. This is an uphill battle. No, she should not go on a date with a man she's not interested in. Because here's the thing. Because she doesn't understand. Now this man has to go above and beyond. And even that is not a guarantee. Even that has a low chance of success. Right? Even that has a low chance of success of changing her mind. Real Rain, my brother, thank you for the love. How much of these issues today are from botflation? Bots convincing women they are better than they are. Here's the thing, right? Probably a lot. But other women, I think other women are inflating women's egos. Okay? Other women are inflating other women's egos. And men do it too. Right? Men like, this man, right? I hope she's told this man, I'm not really that interested in you. I'm not really that attracted to you. I hope she did, but I doubt it. Because I know a lot of men will, regardless, even if she's not interested in him, he will still take the challenge. But here's my problem with that. Men that still will take the challenge, he will still get upset if he doesn't succeed. Right? I'm not saying all men, I'm not saying a lot of men, but I say there's a good chunk of men that will still get upset if they don't succeed. And that is my problem. I say no. I mean, Zyrax, why would you say yes? Why would you go on a date with a man that you're not interested in? You're not interested in, you're not attracted to, and most likely you don't want to see again. Why? Because right now, you're pretty much using that man for entertainment. Okay? Regardless, because this is funny, right? This is the thing. Okay? Here's what she said.
Like 99, pretty sure you're not interested in. Or maybe even 100%. I was asked out by this guy a while ago who I had known previously, and I knew he was a good guy, but I just really didn't see any kind of romantic connection there. And I told my friend that I was still.
Oh, is it bad to say yes to a date you already know your answer? Okay, I get it. You're right. I thought, you're telling her. This is a thing where, yes, it is bad. It is bad to say yes. Because again, you already know you're not interested in. Stop wasting your time and wasting his time. And this is the problem with a lot of modern day dating. This kind of mindset is ruining it, right? It's either you date men you don't see a future with, or you date men you don't want to have a future with, right? That's the thing. You date men you don't see a future with, or you date men you don't want to have a future with. That is insane. That is insane. Okay? And again, out from a woman's mouth, I've said this before. A lot of women are going on dates with men they're not interested in. They're going on dates with men just out of boredom. Because she said, gonna
go, and she was kind of like, wait, but you already know you're not interested. But I thought, well, he asked, and he liked that he wants to spend time with me, and that's something I would be open to, even though I was pretty sure I'm not romantically interested. And she was like, wait, no.
He asked, so what? Are you now doing what men say? Right? So what he asked? Every random man asks you on a date, you're gonna say yes? That don't make sense. It's just that you just feel that this man, because he's a nice guy, it's fine when you waste his time because probably whatever, he won't get mad or whatever. This is the stupidity. This is the problem with modern day dating. Women are not dating with purpose. Right? Women are not dating with purpose. Women are wasting their time and the man's time. Exactly. My philosophy has always been never do to others you wouldn't want done to you. Exactly. I agree. I don't want no one using me thereafter. I wouldn't do that to no one. Zyrax, I agree, my sister. I agree. Double talk, double speak. I agree.
Okay, I feel like guys can't say this, but I can. Tell me why there's all these women out there sitting on their asses saying that they want a 6-foot man that makes 6 figures, yada yada. Yet, do you meet his requirements, sweetheart? Okay.
That's also something that a lot of women are having a hard time with. Women have standards, but a lot of women don't give a shit about men's standards.
These modern women today, they do not want a man that challenges them. They want a man that obeys. They want a man they can talk to like a child, boss around, and emotionally manipulate them into thinking that they're wrong 100% of the time.
That is true. I'm treating them like they're logical, which a lot of them aren't. You know, a lot of them aren't.
Modern women today, they love accountability as long as it pertains to the men. But the moment a man says you need to fix your attitude, now he's insecure. He's controlling. He's a narcissist. He hates his mother. A lot of women want a relationship where they are never wrong. Where a man is supposed to take everything. The disrespect, the ego, the delusion. And they be like, a real man.
David, 100%. This is the thing where to be honest, I become a really good listener, okay? I listen to women. I listen to women when they speak because I want to see the holes in their stories.
It's supposed to understand. No, that's not how this works. A real man is not your emotional punching bag. A real man is not going to sit there while you sabotage everything and then blame it on him. These modern women today, they do not want a man that challenges.
I agree.
I genuinely mean it when I don't think I want a boyfriend or a husband ever in my life. As a pretty girl, I've seen married men with children in their hands look at me, hit on me. I've seen girls just the other day sleeping with married men, and I know not all of them are like that, but from the time that I've been in the dating scene, I have not seen one man where I'm like, okay, you seem like you'd be fine without your weekly dates with a different girl every weekend. Maybe it's my trust issues, but I've not met one man where I'm like, okay, you look like you wouldn't cheat on me. I feel like every man will cheat once in their life on their partner, no matter the partner. The idea of it is great, but like, no. I genuinely mean it when I don't think I want a boyfriend or a husband.
I support women staying single and hopefully childless for the rest of their life, because here's the problem with a lot of women. They lack accountability. You choose those men. It's like, this is the thing where you're the one who choose the men that enters your life. You choose them. So at the end of the day, if all the men that you surround yourself with are potential cheaters, well, that is on you, not on these men, because honestly, there will always be good and bad men. There will always be good and bad people. You choose the type of people you allow into your life. So women like this, okay, please stay single. Please stay single and childless for the rest of your life. Because honestly, we don't need more single mothers out here. And we don't need more bad women who choose bad men, who fall in love with bad men. Plain and simple. So good for you. You know, stop dealing with those men. So what do you guys think? This is a video that I don't know yet, right? I saw this it's a small video, right? Notes from the margins. Okay. I wanted to check it out. I don't know if it's going to be a good video or not, but I wanted to check this out, right? Women hate the choice of choosing the correct man, but hate the choice of being made for them. This title, the video is titled, Men Hate Feminists Because We Expose Their Weakness. Interesting, right? Interesting. So I wanted to check this video out. I wanted to check this video out. This is, again, this video is by, what is it? Notes from the Margins. Small creator, right? A new video. Again, men hate feminists because we expose their weakness. I don't know if this is a good video or not, but I wanted to check it out. So let's see if it's a good video.
A man's strength is no match for a...
Ugh, low as shit.
conniving woman. A man's strength is no match for a conniving woman. At least the Bible tells us so. A woman can take a man's power, his destiny, and everything that he is if you give her the chance. Well, at least that's the myth from the Bible. But let's be honest, and if we tell the truth, men and accountability have never met, let alone been friends. Women will tell stories of
men and accountability have never met. Really interesting. So if you are a fat man, right, you haven't worked on yourself, right, you're lazy, right, you haven't worked on yourself, you think you won't suffer from accountability? You think women will want you? You think society will call you a king, right, will call you handsome? You think if you are a loser, society will prop you up, will call you amazing? Projection. So you think that if you are broke ass loser, you think society will call you a king? Will call you amazing man? You think so? You think men don't suffer from accountability? You do. If you are a loser of a man, society will hold you accountable. If you are a man that, you know what? Now again, balance of probability, not all men, but if you are not there for your family, if you're not there for your family, you think the courts won't hold you accountable? They do. The courts will hold you accountable. Not all men, but they do. So society do hold men accountable. Okay? But here's the thing with a lot of women. What they're talking about, right, is the men they want. I've said this before. Why don't you hold bad men accountable? Because at the end of the day, a man that cheats, and you can tell this man don't cheat, yet a woman still gets with him, no duh, you can't hold him accountable because women will bail him out.
about men, like how he tricked her, how he lied, how he pretended to be something that he wasn't. And that's why she made sacrifices. That's why she did the things she did in life, made some of the choices she made because she believed in this man. And the first thing people will tell her is, you didn't choose better. You don't know how to choose a good man. She should have known. Her woman's intuition should have told her. She should have seen the red flags. She needs to take accountability for her choices. But men can make catastrophic decisions. And somehow it is suddenly he was tricked. A woman told him to do it. He was led astray. He got caught in a honey trap. And he's not responsible for that. He has no control because of a conniving woman.
What are you talking about? A man that you'll be called a loser, right? You'll be called a simp. You'll be called, like, those men are held accountable, right? If he's, you know, like a beta, right? So no, if he, you know, been done dirty by a woman, well, you hold him accountable. And here's the thing, right? If he's done dirty by a woman, his accountability, right, is him suffering. This is my thing. I told you guys this story countless times before. My ex, right? Because she was, she needed medical treatment. I sent her money for it. Guess what happens? She broke up with me. And I have to pay that loan, right? I took out a loan to pay for my ex's surgery. Guess what the accountability is? The debt I incurred, the broken heart I received. Who's there to support me? Who's there to validate my feelings? Men aren't here saying, "Oh my God, my poor man." No, What man is supporting other men? Right? No man is like being there for you, patting you in the back, saying, oh my God, I'm so sorry, my brother. I'm so sorry. No man is hyping other men up. So I don't know what you're talking about. The accountability is that no one gives a shit about you. You are going to have to pick yourself back up. That's the thing. For women, right? If a man does her dirty, there will be thousands of other women supporting her, saying, oh, he doesn't deserve you. You're so amazing. You know, you go queen. You're like, he's terrible, right? No, it's his fault. You're the victim. That is taking away accountability.
Have literally been outsourcing accountability onto women, projecting everything that they are onto women for over a millennia. And there is no story clearer than that, than Samson and Delilah.
No, yeah, she didn't appreciate it, but you know what? I don't, I suffer from my poor actions, I suffer from my poor actions, so I have to deal with it.
Myth in the Bible. Delilah appears in one chapter of the entire Bible, and somehow we know more about her and her bad deeds than we know anything about Samson's story. We just know that she took his strength away from him because he was devoted to God, and she did something that he was never supposed to have done. She did it to him. We've already talked about Mary Magdalene. We've talked about Jezebel. Let's get into the story of Samson and Delilah. Let's get into my notes on Delilah, who has been framed in so many men's down.
Now, I'm not really a religious guy, so I don't really know the context she's talking about. So, but I do say this, right? I've said this before. Women and lust have always been men's biggest weakness. Women and lust have always been men's biggest weakness. We need to overcome that. As men, we need to overcome that. Do not let women and lust be your biggest weakness, to be your weakness at all. And I've been there, right? Women have been my weakness for most of my life. Only until recent that I, woken up from it.
Downfall stories. But if we actually look at the text, Samson was actually the architect of his own downfall. And Delilah, she was probably actually.
No, yeah, I agree. My L's. But this is the thing where I want to say this to my brothers. I'm no one better than you, right? I'm no one better than you. I've never promoted like, oh, I'm such an alpha. My brothers follow me. No, right? I said this before. I'm just an average man with an opinion. That is it. I don't promote to be better than anyone. I'm not here to give you guys a course. I'm not helping you pick up women. No, I'm an average man just talking about shit, right? So at the end of the day, we are just in the road on this journey together, journey of life.
Carrying out God's will. I'm talking about when I tell these stories from the Bible, but obviously a lot of supposed Christians don't read their good book. To understand Delilah, we have to first talk about Samson. And Samson was already doing things in Judges chapters 13 through 15 of the Bible that were against his vows and oaths to God. First of all, who was Samson? Samson was a Nazarite. He was supposedly set apart for God. I don't know what God had in store for him, but he was set apart for God. Like, he was meant for God, whatever that means. So because of that, because he was a Nazarite, he could not drink wine or alcohol. He could not touch the dead, and he could not cut his hair. So what was Samson doing in chapters 13 through 15 of Judges before Delilah even appears in Judges 16? He was turning up. Samson was turning up. The Hebrew word mishta, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I don't speak Hebrew, literally means drinking banquet. He was having a kegger. He was literally having a turn-up party, and he was drinking alcohol and wine at this party. He's already breaking his oaths to God. He was touching dead bodies. So at the turn-up, Judges 14, 8 through 9, Samson scoops honey out of a lion carcass with his hands. He was violating his oath and pretending that God must not be watching him. He turned a blind eye for his free will during this period of time. And then later in Judges 15:15, he kills 1,000 men.
So far, right? I'm not really, I don't know much about the Bible, okay? But again, this from what I'm hearing so far, it just sounds like a story to men. Do not let vices control you. Period. Right? So it is showing you to hold men accountable. Okay? Your life will be destroyed if you don't have discipline, right? If you don't have discipline, if you don't have control over your vices, control over yourself, you will be destroyed. It's giving you, I appreciate the humble approach. I again, I said this before. I appreciate you guys, right? I'm no one better than, I never perceive me, being better than anybody, right? I'm just a brother, right? I'm one of you guys' brothers. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. And this is a thing where to be human is, I believe to be flawed, to be no better than anyone else. And this is the thing where it shows you that we are flawed human beings. I've suffered because of my vices, because of my lack of discipline in my life, okay? And again, a lot of times it's because of women. I've sent money to women that could give a shit about me. I simped. I've been stupid, right? And that's the point. It took me a long time to learn to be more disciplined, to have more strength, right? To control myself. Do not let lust and women be your weakness. That is the point, right? DA, that's 100% what the story is about. How a vice can be your downfall, because Samson trusted Delilah with his secret and she used it against him. And that's the thing. When you allow your weakness to control you, when you have these certain kind of weakness, that is where, right? Where you will suffer.
With a donkey's jaw. Again, touching a dead body. That's a corpse, right? He went against his vow and he married a Philistine woman, despite all of the warnings. In chapter 14 of Judges, verses 1 through 3, his parents told him not to. He insisted.
And here's the thing, right? Accountability for men is physical. It's visible, right? That's the thing for accountability for men. You will suffer. You will suffer. Accountability is physical for men. Suffering, right? It's the suffrage. So men know accountability.
Anyway, Samson wasn't living as God's chosen dude. He was basically giving God a headache. He's disrespecting this jealous, spiteful God. Do you see what's happening here? Samson was already sinning against all his vows. And by the time Delilah enters the story, Samson's strength had already been compromised symbolically, spiritually, and morally by his own choices. Delilah didn't do anything to break his vows. He was doing all of that on his own, over and over again, and with complete abandon. Somehow, when Delilah enters the story, we hear from patriarchy, from the church, that Delilah was a seductress. She was a temptress. She was morally corrupt woman, a sex worker, and a demon.
But that's the thing, right? It shows you that the many levels, right? Many levels of, honestly, men's weakness. Debauchery, degenerate, being like the vices. All women women is a men's vice. Alcohol, money, so many things. So again, it's just women, right? Women are a vice of men. And you see that today, right? You see that today.
Basically in human form that had come to Samson. Those are what we hear in sermons. But what the Bible itself does not say that she was a prostitute, or that she seduced him, or that she was sinful, or that she was using sex against him. None of that is in scripture. It is all patriarchal fan fiction. What the Bible actually says in Judges 16:4, Samson fell in love with a woman in the valley of Sorek named Delilah. Samson was in pursuit of her. And let's be honest, she was not born when he was already breaking his vows, okay? So she's a child, and this is an old ass man. Samson pursued her. Samson stayed with her. Samson trusted her repeatedly despite clear evidence that she was aligned with his enemies. He wasn't tricked. He was arrogant, like so many men are.
No. In my opinion, most men aren't. Most men aren't arrogant. In my opinion, most men aren't arrogant. Because here's my thing. Arrogance, right, is a reflection of reality. In the sense that, are men actually all that confident? No. I think most men are honestly weak-minded. And I've been there too. I think most men are very shy in nature, timid in nature. Most men don't have arrogance. I don't believe so. Now, they may have a perception trying to be arrogant, but again, you see a lot of men's life. It's not.
To her at least 3 times, not because he was wise, but because he thought he was untouchable. He assumed that he would never be punished for any of his bad deeds. Delilah did not destroy Samson. He was destroyed by his ego. And let's not skip over or make lightly of the fact that in sermons, nobody ever adds the context that Samson was a grown man. By biblical tradition and standards, scholars estimate that Delilah was significantly younger than Samson. At most, she was a teenager. And I mean like 14, 15-year-old teenager. Okay, this is a child in this story. He was a grown man. Nobody ever talks about the fact that he was a pedo. So a powerful, entitled man in enemy territory uses his strength and status to get what he wanted. She was not a femme fatale. She was a little girl, and he was not an innocent man. Somehow she became this all-time villain, this little girl, while Samson, who was in enemy Philistine territory, where God told him not to go. He said, don't go there. He went anyway. He was with a Philistine, they say a woman, but she's a child. Relationships that God also told him not to pursue. Perhaps he told him not to go around messing with children, but he's doing it anyway. He was already in rebellion against God. Delilah didn't do anything to pull him into sin. But he, just like so many men, do not have accountability attached to them. And here's the irony.
This is a thing where I find it funny that doesn't have accountability attached to them. It's honestly weak. It's honestly foolish, right? It really is. So, terrible things that happen to men is the result of accountability, right? I would love to ask her about the story of Liz. I mean, yeah. But this is a thing where I just think it's ridiculous that this is why, a lot of times these women, okay, and she's pretty much doing this. So you equate the men that, let's say you date. You use that man to essentially blanket statement all men, or majority of men. Because why? Why is that? You make it seem like the man that you go for is the vision of all men or the majority of men, which is always idiotic to me. It really is. Women don't understand that, you know what? Maybe the type of men you go for is not the representation of the majority of men. But a lot of women cannot comprehend the difference between that. So here's the thing where you believe that, let's say, Samson represented most men. No, he didn't. Samson doesn't represent most men. He represents, right, the possibility of men's weakness controlling them. Samson is a character that represents when men indulge in weaknesses, when men indulge in vices, he will suffer for it. He will suffer accountability. Right? That's the point of the story. He will suffer from the accountability that he doesn't realize. He will suffer from the consequences that he didn't think about. And that's the problem. That's the truth about the story. Right? When you don't understand consequences, you don't understand the possible consequences of your actions, you will suffer from it.
Delilah might have been God's instrument. She may be the only character in this story doing exactly what God allowed to happen. Judges 16 and 20. The Lord departed from him. Not after Delilah cut his hair, but before. God had already abandoned Samson. So Samson.
And that was accountability. Right? That was the consequences of your actions. So he suffered accountability. He suffered from it. I said, in my opinion, accountability for men is real world consequences.
He had left God by breaking all of his vows, and God left him. In Judges 16:20, the Lord departed from him. He still had his hair. The Lord had already left him. Delilah didn't remove God's favor. She simply exposed the truth. Because how else would the rest of the world have known that Samson lost favor with God? Could she have actually been acting out the judgment from God that Samson brought upon himself? But you see, the male-centered theology could never even fathom such a thing. They don't talk about any accountability that Samson could have had for breaking his vows. A woman could never deliver divine justice onto a man. That man might have to actually be held responsible for his actions, or that disobedience in men has consequences. They don't want us to ever think that a man's disobedience could and should lead to consequences, and those consequences could be carried out by a woman. Or they don't want us to even think about the fact that a man could fall out of grace with God, or his grace just runs out, that he's done too much and his time is up. But patriarchy prefers the story where God is angry at the woman, that the man was seduced, and accountability can always be a trade-off. And it's so sad that we don't go deeper into these stories and realize the hair wasn't the magic, it was the vow. He broke all of his promises, so God took his vow away from him. He showed the world that he had broken his vow. That was his punishment for everyone to see that all of the things that he has done.
Red Door said Samson did regain God's favor and strength in his final moments after repenting and asking God for one last surge of power. God answered, allowing him to bring down the Philistine temple pillars. That's the thing, okay? He suffered, right, from the lack of responsibility. He suffered from the lack of accountability. Take God's favor. He was taken away. So he suffered from he suffered from a lack of accountability. He understood that he, again, right? You guys tell me. I'm learning from you guys. I'm learning because this is the thing. Okay. So that's the point of the story, where you will suffer from the consequences of your actions. You will suffer the consequences of your actions. And you need to realize that you that you are the person who is the problem. And that story shows it. Okay? That story shows it, where you have a man that understands that, you know what, he's the problem. He needs to wake up and improve himself, and understands that, you know what, I did wrong and I'm going to improve myself. I'm going to be better. You will gain the strength to be the better version, the best version of yourself. I'm about to scream the story about how it even, though we have free will, we will have rules to follow within free will. Yeah. He learned from his mistakes and repent. And that's the thing. We are humans, right? We are humans with free will. We are not perfect. We are not perfect. But it gives us the chance to always be better. Doesn't mean that men lack accountability, because men will suffer from it. Like I said, okay? A man that's a loser, a man that is a loser, you're fat, you're ugly, you're a slob, you're broke, you have no social skills, you are going to suffer from it. Whether you understand, whether you take accountability or not, life will hold you accountable. Life will hold you accountable. Okay? Life will hold you accountable. We have women who are fat, ugly, and on here, women are calling you, you beautiful, you're a goddess, you're a 10. Lizzo, right? Lizzo is fat and ugly, right? Fat and ugly, able to be a multimillionaire, having women calling her beautiful when she was fat, calling her a 10, calling her gorgeous, calling her beautiful when she was fat. How could she even understand accountability? Because no one holds her to it. Okay? Men will still simp for her, right? Because she's famous, she's a multimillionaire. Men will still simp for her, men will still desire her. But men, life will hold you accountable. I.e., like in the Samson, God is holding you accountable. Right? So you must wake up from it. So this is a thing where a lot of women don't understand. Life holds men accountable. If you are a loser, you are going to suffer that life. You are going to suffer the life of a loser. She lost weight now, right? But Lizzo lost weight now because she knew being fat was unattractive. Metaphysical MP, what's up, my brother? Scott Galloway is a knucklehead, simp. Never listen to the dude like that. I agree, right? I don't really care for Scott Galloway, not that much. I mean, some things I kind of agree with, but I think the guy is he panders, right? He's trying to pander to women, and I don't think he's all that helpful to men, in my opinion.
To his downfall, because his true weakness, when we start to think about what was his strength was the idea that he was set apart by God, that God had chosen him. He would always be forgiven by God, that God could never take his power, his righteousness, his righteous place away from him. His weakness was that he was exposed. He was exposed to everyone for losing God's grace. And that was his strength. His strength was his vow. And the vow that he broke is what took his strength away. The strength of having the appearance of always being in God's grace. And that's the thing. She exposed his weakness. And when you think about right now, what are men so mad at women about? For exposing their weakness, for showing everyone around them how awful they are, how the bad choices that they have made have ruined lives, have ruined society, have ruined everything for women.
Men have always known that women are men's weakness. Men have always known that. Men are stupid to it. I agree. This is a thing where But the problem is you always choose these types of men, right? You say men are awful. Okay, great. Then stop dating men. This is the thing where no one forces women to date a man. No one forces a woman to date a man. No one forces a woman to choose bad men. No one forces a woman to choose bad men. Women do it themselves, right? Yeah, what feminists, right? Feminists, they all hate men. They all lack accountability. They all push accountability on men, right? They all push their own accountability towards men. It's not my fault. It's his fault. No surprise there. So that's the thing where, again, you choose these men.
Women as well as men. They're so mad at women for exposing the weakness in patriarchy that they don't get any real benefits from unless it's domination and control. Because women, once given the opportunity, have been winning at the patriarchal game and doing much better than men have been in recent years after their centuries-long head start.
So that means a system made for men is working for women. How is it? Because now women are acting like men, right? Now women are acting like men, but in the body of a woman. So you are benefiting from this patriarchy that you so like to clamor about. Feminists like to clamor about.
Ultimately, Delilah was made into a demon because she exposed a man's vulnerability.
No, because she this is a thing where because she is just a symbolic symbol of men's vice, right? She's a symbolic symbol of vices for men, of weakness of men. Women is a big weakness of men. Lust and women are one of the men, if not men's biggest weakness. She's the symbol of weakness.
She refused to worship him. And people want us to believe that not being loyal to a man despite his weaknesses is not being loyal to God. They don't want us to know that God will expose their weaknesses and ultimately use a woman to do it. That's why patriarchy and the Bible partnered, because that's what they fear. A woman who doesn't center men. And now women are on this movement of decentering men, and men know.
I always think it's funny. Women that say they decenter men, but constantly talk about men, right? So how do you decenter men when honestly, all your thoughts are about men, right? All the thoughts that come out of your mind, the things you say, it's always about men. Kind of funny. You decenter men so badly, all you're talking about is about men, right? Only women can think that, oh, I'm going to decenter men, but constantly talk about men. That makes sense to me. Or you are so miserable, right? Miserable of women that you can't get the men that you do want. So you want to shame all men, right? And just call it decentering men because you can't get the men that you want. You can't get the men that you want to settle down, to be with you. So you're going to shame all men because the men that you want broke your heart. Projection much.
Know that this can't be good for them. They don't want women who won't protect a man from his own consequences. They want us to always be the reason.
Protect a man from his own consequences. Here's the thing. Women are doing that anyway. Why? How? Because they constantly go with the criminals, right? They constantly go with the degenerates. They constantly go with, the womenizers. Because you hear it every day, right? I said this. Why are these terrible men never without women? Why are terrible men? Why are womenizers, right? Womenizers. Men that lie, cheat, and steal and, are just pretty much degenerates. Why are these men always with women? Why do these men always have baby mamas? Why do the cheaters always have girlfriends and wives? You are choosing said terrible men.
Behind their their poor decisions and poor direction in life. They want us to continue to shoulder their failures, and they want forever for women to be blamed for the sins of a man, just like Eve, just like Jezebel, and just like every other bad girl in the Bible.
Well, women are essentially a sin of man, right? Lust, right? Lust is essentially, women in a sense. So you are a sin of man. Now, you are a sin of man in, in human form, because again, women are men's vices. Women are men's weakness. Lust.
Wasn't a wicked woman. She wasn't even a woman. She was a little girl.
Charlie Manson, so many other terrible men, terrible criminals throughout history. They are very desired.
A little girl who is resisting a grown man who is sexually assaulting her, and then she gets blamed for his downfall and his exposed vulnerabilities and his sins and his weaknesses because she showed the world.
Is she blamed, or is his weakness to blame? Right? And essentially, she is one of his weaknesses. One of his weaknesses.
Who he really was. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead.
What do you guys think? I mean, again, I couldn't, really talk so much about it because I'm not really a Bible guy. I'm not really a religious guy. But I just try to think more in a logical way in the things that she said. Now, I'm not interesting image.
Subscribe to my.
I'm not like a big Bible thumper, right, or at all, right? I'm not religious, so I couldn't accurately debunk her on the things she said. So it is what it is. But I looked at it through a more logical lens, the things she said, less emotional. Right? Less bias. Because here's the thing, like I said, I'm not looking at, men against women kind of shit. I'm looking at what she said that, men lack accountability. No. Samson suffered from his accountability. He suffered from his accountability. The taking away of God favors, that is suffering from accountability. Right? Right there. So really, I already debunked the things she said. I really just debunked what she said. Okay? And I'm not a Bible, I'm not a religious guy, but thinking about it logically, dissecting the words she said logically, I already showed her that men suffer from accountability. The world will hold you accountable, i.e., in her story, God hold Samson accountable, right? He lost God's favor. To only get it back, right, with what Red Door said, is by him repenting. He understood his weakness. That's the thing. The Bible doesn't state Delilah's exact age, but it's believed she was a young woman, perhaps 16 to 19, when she became involved with Samson. She wasn't a little girl. Particularly at 16 and 19, 16 to 19, yes, that's not a little girl, particularly during that age when people die relatively young, right? People can die relatively in their 30s, 40s, right? So yes, that's not really young. As the resident Bible thumper, she does what a lot of people do and not take the word as is and use it to justify what she thinks. I'm pretty sure she does, right? Because she doesn't see it as a cautionary tale. It's a cautionary tale. Women are men's weakness. That's 100% true. And since you are men's weakness, you are a sin of man. Okay? You are a sin of man. And again, I already told you the world hold you accountable. Okay? The world will hold you accountable. So that already debunked the thing she said. So this is the problem when women don't actually think about it logically. Okay? They can't think about things, critically think about it. So, but what do you guys think? I mean, some of you guys are probably better at dissecting biblical context than me, because I don't really know it. But all I did is dissect the things she said. And you can see the holes in the things says, or the lack of actual critical thinking to the things she said. But what do you guys think? All right, guys, please like the live stream. Please like the live stream, guys. It would be helpful if you guys like the live stream. I forgot to say thank you to Cyrex for the dono. I love you, my sister. What you said is more on par with what the story is than what she said, and you don't know the story. I don't know the story. This is the thing where, again, right? You're not thinking about the story correctly. That's the problem with so many people. You're not critically thinking. Typical feminist jibber jabber or jabberwocky. Yes, I agree. I agree. All right, I wanted to check out the story. So I'm not sure what it says, but kind of shows you that, you know, the sin of man, right? So the truth about OF from a former creator. So let's check it out.
You know, everyone's doing porn. So how?
First thing she said, everyone is doing it. Everyone's doing OF, which is no, that's not true. Not everyone, but a lot of women are. A lot of women are. So
How can you differentiate yourself and get to the top and make the most money? And it's having to be extreme. And that's really, you know, you see it in the porn industry in general of like the extreme content that needs to be made and the appeal of it. It always starts with something that's simple and then it always escalates to something more and something dangerous. And, you know, now you have these big faces and characters who are doing extreme sport because they need to put themselves at the top as quick as possible. So this is why you have the Bonnie Blues and Lily Phillips, though, is because it's like, if I'm going to go into this, I have to differentiate myself from the rest so that I can reach the top. And, you know, that could be my selling point and people will gravitate towards me so I could bypass these other millions of people who are trying to do this. I ended up going to Miami and moving there just because Miami was the only city that's open. And Miami's also a pretty big hub for the OnlyFans industry, especially now. So I think just being subjected in that environment, and I was also like 19, 20, and it was just new. And it seemed like, okay, I can make money this way and I can live this lavish lifestyle that I was around and I don't.
I think it's funny. Okay. So we saw another one, right? Where that woman who was talking about religion. Talking about, oh, young women, you know, it seems like you take away the agency of women. Yet when women do have agency, you see what they're doing, right? So would you be surprised that women will still do the things that will still end up on the same path regardless, right? Still end up on the same path regardless. Here's a woman when she was 19. Right? And again, I'm giving women a lot of credit. I don't think women are stupid. Okay? They still choose to be degenerates. They still choose to have no shame. They still choose to sell themselves. The commodity, this is a thing where it's like, you know, when in a time when women are more free than ever before, right? Women are more free than ever before, yet they still choose to sell themselves. So what was the point? What was the point of gaining that freedom? You know, from away from the shackle of the patriarchy. Yet you are still selling yourself. You are still being a degenerate, right? You're still using yourself as an object. You're still presenting yourself as an object. You would think that when women gain said freedom, they would treat themselves better, right? They would treat themselves differently. They wouldn't be they wouldn't be treating like a sex object. That's the thing. But women are doing it more than ever before.
don't have to, like ask my parents for anything. I can travel, I can have freedom, I can have time. And for me, my logic, at least at this time, was if I just have money coming in, basically doing nothing, then I can just focus on my dreams. I don't have to, work a 9 to 5 and have time be taken away. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. It's going to be like a stepping stone into my future. Everything's going to be so easy breezy, beautiful. And that's really what appealed me to it, was more the freedom of time and just money coming in without having to really like think or do anything.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what type of content did you plan to post initially, and how did that evolve over time?
Yeah, so the first thing I did was I scraped my Instagram of all my bikini photos and I just put them on there. And then I also had a vegan page when OnlyFans TV, this was like the first time it came out. So OnlyFans kind of existed and then OnlyFans TV came out like a few years later. And so I was like one of the first people to join OFTV, and I was just posting like food content. I was posting, smoothies and this like healing lifestyle. So that's kind of what I started. And then I think, the whole industry just escalated super fast. And, you see it. But at that time, I was not comfortable with, doing anything explicit. So I was like, okay, like we'll go from bikinis to lingerie, and then maybe we'll do implied. And, I wasn't doing anything explicit. I never had any desire to. It wasn't, something that I was like always dreaming of doing. And I actually quit OnlyFans after that because I just felt uncomfortable, like the men making all their comments and like everyone just started to want like more, explicit, aggressive content. And I was like, what? No, I'm not gonna do that. So this isn't for me. So I actually left for a period of time because of that reason. And then I had a manager, reach out to me, I want to say like August of 2022. And like we were kind of just back and forth. And he's like, listen, like if you do a certain type of content, like I promise you will make at least 50 grand a month. And even before I was like not making that, like I was still making money. But it wasn't, 50 grand a month. So to a 20-year-old, I was like, oh, okay. And then actually my contract, the deal was that I would have to do partner content, in order to hit that mark. So that was kind of my like, all right, if I'm going to do this and I'm going to go back into this, it's going to have to be full out. And, at that time I was just like, okay, I'll just do it. And that's kind of what tracked it into that.
When you have no shame, when you have no sense of morality, when you have no sense of self-respect. So when she was doing OF, she was turned off by all the men that wanted her to do more content, right? Wanted her to do more risky content. Now this stranger, this manager, came to her and said, oh, here's this much amount of money. Can I buy your soul? The apple, right? You said, oh, why do we blame Eve and the apple? Right? No one forces you to do it. No one is forcing you to take that apple. You choose it yourself. Right? That is the meaning of accountability. You chose it. No one forced it. No one forced you to take that apple. No one forced you to sell yourself for 50K. Great on you, right? You want that money? Cool. But that is on you and only you. No one tells you, oh, you need to choose this man. You chose him. No one forced you to choose the liars, the cheaters, the players, the bad boys, the pookies. No one forced you. No one forces someone to do what they don't want to do. Legally, right? Let's get that out of the way. You chose to do it yourself. So at the end of the day, it is 100% on you.
And the more explicit side of OnlyFans.
Yeah. Can you share a bit about how your experience in OnlyFans compared to what you expected it to be when you initially joined, and even when you took the break and decided to come back? How did your actual experience compare to your expectations?
I just expected to kind of go in, not really care, just be posting content. I mean, I loved content creation in general. So I was like, okay, I can get like paid for that. And I just figured I would be making so much money, none of it would even matter. And I think that's really the mindset that a lot of people go in, is they're like, the money is almost this like Novocaine for you. Cause you're like, okay, well, I'm making so much money. I'm rich now. I have all this freedom and I can do whatever I want.
This is funny, right? This was the important of the Samson video, right? Of the Samson, story. Where when you let your vices, your weaknesses control you, you will suffer from it. The world will hold you accountable, right? That happened to Samson, right? Losing God's favor essentially is the world holding you accountable. That's the thing. So the story is the significance of showing that what vices can do to you, what weaknesses what being a degenerate, what lacking morality, lacking values, lacking principles, lacking character, lacking boundaries, what it will do to you.
Want, so it's not as bad. So that was kind of my expectation, and I think nobody around me at that time really cared either. Obviously the managers don't care. They're like, you're doing so good, this is so great. And then I think also
100%. Money can't buy back dignity. It can't.
I had friends that were in the industry, and they didn't really have their coming to light moment either. So everyone's kind of collectively like, oh my God, we're making so much money and it's so fast and we're so young, and now we have all of this freedom. And I think then from that point it starts to decline, but it takes a minute. You get that like dopamine rush at first.
Right. And that's a pretty common story that we have heard from individuals who have joined OnlyFans, or young people who are saying, I don't need to go to college. I can just join OnlyFans and make lots of money. And then often the reality of the money made isn't even what it's kind of proposed to be often, or sold to be. We often hear from people who say they hear how glamorous OnlyFans is, how glamorous the lifestyle can be. There's only a very small percentage of creators that are actually making money. The average creator isn't making a lot of money. Can you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, everybody lies. Money is the easiest way to pull people into something. That's why you see so many people selling courses. That's why you see, they sell the lifestyle, and that's the selling point. But the money, yeah, I mean, you can make a lot of money years ago because it was fresh and it was new. But now it's a lot harder. The competition's harder because there's just so many people doing it. And I mean, yeah, no, I think the average is like $180 a month for creators. So I think now it's just so oversaturated. No, you're not going to make $100,000 a month just from starting, unless you already have a really big platform or you're famous. And that's where they see like, celebrities making $9 million a month? I don't know. And it's like, okay, well, you're not them. And, not even trying to be rude, but like a small town girl, you're not going to be making $9 million a month on OnlyFans. So I think that's just the misconception. And that's really what hooks people, is just selling them this, well, you'll make so much money. And it's like, no, your manager will make a lot of money. Yes, I was living in a $6,000 a month apartment, but my manager was living in a $50,000 a month mansion with his Lambo and his Maybach and all his cars. So where's that too? That money's not yours. And I think that's also where they get confused. Is like, at least half your money is going to be taken from you off the bat. That's every contract. But yeah, your money's not yours. So most of it's going to go away to taxes, to bills, to upkeeping a lifestyle, and to a manager.
Yeah. And it kind of
sounds like good work. Sounds like a job, right?
It takes the glamour out of the idea of what it can be when you
really
like
see
it
if
for what
you're living
it
in a
is.
penthouse paycheck to paycheck, you're still living paycheck to paycheck, So there's a lot of upkeep to the lifestyle. And that's why you see so many people who go broke trying to prove that they're rich. And that's the easiest way to go broke. So I just always say, if someone's trying to sell you a lifestyle in your face, they're probably lying. They're probably not making as much money as they say they are. And it's just not as easy as it was to make money like that on this platform. There's too much noise.
Yeah, I think that's really well said. Thank you for sharing that. A lot of the people we've spoken with who have been in similar positions as you have talked about the pressure to escalate the type of content that they post over time. Have you seen or experienced that progression yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think going from making vegan content to going and making like full on porn is a pretty big jump. So yeah, I definitely think the pressure is there. I think the pressure is there because of the money. And at least for me, it was because of the money. It's like, okay, you're like, okay, well, if I do this, I'll make more money. And then you make the money and you're like, okay, so maybe it's not as bad. And like, I am finding this thing, and it's that like just temptation of just constant greed and wanting more. And so as they're wanting more explicit content, you're just wanting more money. And it's rough.
Yeah. Because over time, you can't make the same money doing vegan content, for example, or you
yeah,
have to escalate.
And the industry has changed so much since I first joined. And I think that's really why I'm very open about it, is because I'm like, yes, I was making $10K a month off vegan content. That's impossible now. So, it's not the same industry that it was in 2022 or 2020.
10K a month off of vegan content. Okay. I'm like, this is why, in my opinion, where women still lack accountability, because they don't really suffer for it, right? The world, what is holding you accountable, right? What in your life is holding you accountable? This is why women don't understand accountability, because honestly, it's usually on easy mode, right? And sometimes a man will jump in to take away said accountability.
It's completely different now. And now you have to do explicit content because that's the majority.
Do you think there's been a lot of news about creators like Bonnie Blue or Lily Phillips? Do you think that their stories reflect a wider pattern of what happens on platforms like OnlyFans?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of like finding your selling point. And, now you have everybody is making boy-girl content, girl-girl content. Everyone's doing porn. So how can you differentiate yourself and get to the top?
Everyone isn't doing it, but I do agree a lot more women are doing it. And this is a slippery slope where, again, a lot of women don't understand shame anymore. A lot of women don't care They don't care about themselves. They have no self-respect. They don't, um, they don't, they really, you know, they don't care about the repercussions of their actions because honestly, they don't really receive consequences. So this is why they have issues with accountability. They don't suffer for it, right? The world isn't holding women accountable.
And make the most money, and it's having to be extreme, and that's really, you see it in the porn industry in general, of like the extreme content that needs to be made, and the appeal of it always starts with something that's simple, and then it always escalates to something more and something dangerous. And that's really what escalates all of these other things like pedophilia, trafficking. It goes into a whole different world. And it's the same thing on OnlyFans. And I think that's what people are maybe now just learning, is because it was thrown in your face as this social platform, even though all the revenue is coming from sex work. But it works the same. So yes, the pressure to escalate your content is there. The pressure of people wanting more is there. And now you have these big faces and characters who are doing extreme sport because they need to put themselves at the top as quick as possible. So yeah, it's not really shocking. It's dangerous. And that's the slippery slope that you go down.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you mentioned what that type of content is fueling. We often talk
Mhm.
about how porn is fueling the demand for sex trafficking and sexual violence and sexualized racism and objectification and the slew of issues, societal issues that so many people are dealing with today.
Mhm.
And to your point earlier, even if someone maybe goes into this consensually, just taking note of what this content is fueling and how others are being harmed as well,
Mhm.
because all of these things are so interconnected.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's just another breeding ground for all of these things to exist on. It's the same system, it's just wrapped in a different box. And, it's still fairly new, even though it's been around. So there's still a lot of like research. There's way more research on street prostitution than there is now on OnlyFans. So it's going to be a process. But yeah, that's why these conversations are important.
Yeah, absolutely. How did being on OnlyFans affect the way that you saw yourself?
So I suffered from identity dissonance really badly. I think because I was very separated from the industry. I didn't want to, collab with people. Like after my one collab, I was like, all right, never doing that again. Hated that. So I kind of was living like two lives. I knew that this was my income. This was fueling my lifestyle. Everybody else was like, oh my God, she's able to like go to Italy for a month. That's so cool. And then I was also, still being true to myself and working on my own projects and, trying to launch other businesses to get myself out of the industry and replace that income. So it was definitely odd because there was this character that existed that was so, such a big part of my life and was like funding my whole life. And then there was me. And so I think a lot of people were like even confused when they would talk to me. And then I'd be like, oh yeah, well, like I do OnlyFans. I'm like, that's how I'm able to live here. And they're like, what? Like, so it didn't make sense to others. And then it really didn't make sense to me because I was like, yeah, this isn't me, but she exists and I have to play her. And it's like acting. And then you get like lost in the character. You have to pull back and then you go home to different things and you have all these masks on. And I think over time that really weighs on you.
Yeah, because you're putting on this persona and playing this character, but it also is, physically you showing up and physically you being disseminated online in this way. And so I can imagine there's some cognitive dissonance in reconciling those two personas together. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's kind of what was like I never watched my content. I never would look on my page. When I was deleting my page, I had to like delete a bunch of the photos because they didn't actually let me delete my page until like over a month later, which is a whole different story. But yeah, so I think that was the first time I actually even saw like what was even being done and posted because I was like, I don't even want to look at it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see it. It exists, but it's not me. And it was just like this thing like that was there, like just like a pimple that just like wouldn't go away.
Yeah. How did being on OnlyFans?
That's the insanity, right? That wasn't you. That's like this is the thing where we allow women to live in their delusions, to create their delusions, to create their own little world. Okay? Where so many women, this is why I said where the world doesn't even hold women accountable, right? The world does not even hold women accountable. So you can't be surprised that women don't understand said accountability because honestly, they don't suffer for it, which fine, it is what it is. But when you don't suffer consequences for your actions, give me a minute. Sorry. Sorry about that.
Impact your relationships or the way that people treated you?
You know, it didn't really affect as much as I think people try to make it seem like it did. Because I think everyone kind of collectively is, well, they're either lying to my face and telling me that they don't care and they actually do because they're just scared to tell me. Or I think people are like, you know, maybe this is a good thing. Like, if you're making so much money, we live in such, you know, a money based society now. And it's like, you know, if you're making all this money, what does it really matter? So I think that's kind of, money really is, I think, the main source of people convincing themselves that maybe it's okay. But yeah, I think my relationships, you know, I'm lucky to have really strong friendships and strong family connections. So I don't think that changed how they viewed me. I think it was just a process of them trying to get me to remember who I was and being like,
This is why I said, right? Imagine a man who was a degenerate, right? A man that was a degenerate. You don't think people would look at him differently? You don't think people would treat him differently? But a woman that sells her body, people will accept it. People will sympathize. People won't treat her differently. And then you say that men are not held accountable, right? Men that are degenerates. You don't think people will look at him differently? People would. But it's women who don't understand accountability because they don't suffer from consequences. Men will.
yeah, this isn't you. And this, you know, I'm not going to judge you and like, you know, try to shame you to leave, but like, you definitely should. I think romantic relationships was hard, but at least in my stance, you know, I was already with somebody who was toxic. So I think this was a good leverage point for them to like go out and cheat and blame it on that. And it was really just an excuse. I don't think that was like genuine them not liking it. I said it before that I don't think men are ever going to want their girl to do this just because of that like territorial protectiveness. So I think, no, they did not like it, but I think it was a good point for them to kind of be like, you know, treat me like because of it.
Do you think that your friends and family really saw that there were kind of two of you? There was the character you mentioned and then the you that they know?
Yeah, definitely. And they saw me, you know, doing both. So if their homes, they've had people send stuff to their homes, like everything's so public now, and you don't even know who it's coming from, you know, until they're sitting in your living room. And that's just terrifying in itself. Also, the messages, you know, I get messages of men still, they're like, I know you did OnlyFans and I hate you and I hate everyone. And you don't, people are so insane nowadays. You literally have no idea. You know, people get death threats over, you know, wearing a shade of blush that people don't like. So you really don't know. And I think that's what makes it so unsafe is you're not only attracting just the bottom of the barrel type of human, but you don't even know where it's coming from.
How do you think platforms like OnlyFans contribute to misconceptions about what's safe and empowering, especially for women?
I mean, empowerment is their whole selling point, you know? It's, well, take the power back because men are going to sexualize you anyway, so you might as well get paid for it. And I think that people don't really realize that they're playing the same game they tried to leave. And just because, you know, if you're playing chess, just because you're on one side of the board or the other, you're still playing chess. And, you know, I think empowerment is the new fancy word that people like to use. They'll just throw, well, it's empowering to do this. It's empowering, you know, to treat people like this. It's empowering to whatever. And it's just a lie. It's a marketing tactic. It's avoiding accountability of what's truly happening. It's presenting a present in front of you that has nothing.
Avoiding accountability. You are the woman who choose to sell your body online and then say that other people are telling you it's empowering. Seems like you are dodging accountability yourself, right? This is a thing where people could say, oh, it's so amazing to jump off a bridge. You think I'm going to do it? Literally, when you do it, right? When you jump off of the bridge and then you say, oh, you know what? All these people are saying it's empowering to do it. They're avoiding accountability. Did you not understand accountability?
In it, and there's nothing safe and empowering about it, you know? Like, it's just, you're not protecting yourself from anything. A lot of it, you just turn bitter and rageful because you're like, oh my God, you're exposed to these men who, you know, obviously they're just sexualizing you and objectifying you. That's the whole game. And then you kind of go out in the world and you're like, oh, so all men are like this. And you don't see how it like seeps into other aspects of your life. And, you know, it's just a feeling overall. And I don't think there's anything empowering of having to take off your clothes. And I think this whole, you know, I think women in general, when you're going from like girlhood to womanhood, it's uncovering this whole message of like male attention means that they like me. And I think a lot of it is playing on, you know, the victims of believing that validation. And if I look hot and I get likes, that I'm worth something. And it's kind of exploiting that inner wound as well.
Right. And you mentioned earlier as well that, you know, if you're kind of staying stuck in something like OnlyFans because you don't know how you're going to replace the income, if you're kind of staying in something
by working. Work for it. This is, I find this is like kind of stupid, right? I find this is, and I'm sorry, this is particularly stupid for a lot of women. It is not a logical thing. It is not, normal to make $50K a month. I'm sorry. It is not normal to make $10K a month. It is not normal. It isn't. That's not normality, right? Most people are not millionaires. Most people don't make six figures. It is not normal. It's not. I'm sorry. Most people will be average. You will make a base salary. You will make base amount. Most people, okay, in today's day and age will make between 40 to about maybe 90K, okay? Most people. That is the norm. It is not normal to make close to make, 50K a month. That is not normal. So replace the salary. You shouldn't even be able to reach that. But this is the thing, the poison, the desire for luxury. With so many women, let me always travel around the world. That's not normal. That's not average to be able to travel around the world, right? It's not that's not normal for people.
Because of the financial strain you may be experiencing or other external circumstances that are keeping you stuck in this, is it really,
You're not stuck in it, right? Because you are pushing, you are forcing yourself to be stuck in it. You're not stuck in it. You're not. Again, most average people are not meant to be making $50K a month. Most average people are not meant to be traveling, jet setting around the world every month. Right? So no, you're not forced, right? Because of your greed, because of your, honestly, your foolishness, your lack of accountability, your lack of normality, okay, lack of being grounded, lack of understanding the real world. You are making yourself forced to be this, right? You are forcing yourself. The world isn't forcing you. No one is forcing you but yourself. This is the problem with lack of accountability.
is it really enthusiastic consent, or is it a means to an end, right? And so gauging empowerment in that way as well, I think is so important. Thank you for sharing all of that.
Yes, of course.
We hear about parasocial relationships often when we talk about platforms like OnlyFans. How do parasocial relationships affect people who are posting on platforms like this?
I mean, I think that's the most dangerous part of the industry is the parasocial relationship. You have these people who believe that they are truly dating you and they are truly married to you and that you truly like them and love them. And if you keep convincing them of something, they're going to really start to believe it. And that's where you see it escalate into the violence and the stalking and the breaking in and, the sending things and the threats, because to them, you're conditioning them to think that this is real. And, you have people who are playing a character and they think they're talking to the girls and they're not talking to the girls. They're talking to somebody from overseas or some guy from the Philippines and they have no idea. And so they're being fed their delusions and they're being affirmed in their delusions. And I think even overall on social media, you can see what people do when they're affirmed.
I do agree, right? I hate I honestly, I've said this before, and I hope it's true for all the men that follow me. If you sub to OF, don't follow me. If you sub to OF, don't follow me, because honestly, you do not respect yourself. You do not love yourself. I do not condone men living in delusion. I don't condone men living in delusion. If you think that you have an online girlfriend because you pay her $5 a month, because you send her $100 every so often, and she's your girlfriend, this girl you've never met, this girl, that you're seeing her nudes online, you're sending her subscription money, you are deluding yourself. You are delusional. And to be honest, you are bottom of the barrel men. And you can't be helped, right? You can't be helped unless you help yourself. So men like that do not respect themselves, do not have dignity, right? Do not love themselves, do not have self-respect. So men like that, I feel bad for. Well, maybe I don't feel bad for, because you're deluding yourself.
In their own delusions and how it escalates into a bigger issue that goes off the platform and it becomes a societal issue. So yeah, I think that's the most dangerous part about it is the chatting and the forming of a connection that causes people to really start doing.
Yeah, a societal issue that you perpetuate. Women like you perpetuate. great.
Heinous things.
What kind of mental and emotional toll can that kind of attention take?
I think you're just scared. I know a lot of girls, most girls actually don't. You kind of retreat into your home because you're like, I don't know who knows me. I don't know who doesn't know me. I don't know who's seen me. I don't know. So I think you get nervous and then you start to just hide. And, you're already dealing with your own thoughts and emotions about the whole thing and having to deal with, the thought of somebody out there stalking you, watching you, these obsessive people who you believe they're dating you. I think that's really scary. And, I also just want to mention that this is where traffickers go to find victims. So it's you're literally in the pot that they pick from. So you have no idea. And it's already such a big issue. And now it's just, with girls who are already doing it, those are much easier victims to go pull from. They're already conditioned to believe certain things. So, I think that's even the most dangerous part or one of the most dangerous parts.
Yeah. What made you start questioning whether you wanted to stay in the industry?
Well, I always wanted to leave the industry, and that's where I thought this was a stepping stone for me, but there was no end game here. And I think that's also why I personally kept everything very separated because I was like, well, this isn't me. And I'm not saying this. And I also, never fully dipped my toes in. Even towards the end for me, everyone had social media platforms. I didn't really post on social media with it. My accounts were grown on the back end, which you can't do that anymore. But at that time, you were able to. And so that was how I kept everything, as separate as possible.
How difficult is it for someone to leave OnlyFans once they've built the following or signed contracts?
I mean, you're definitely not going to leave without a fight. That's for sure. I'm still fighting certain things and I've been gone. But I mean, the management, they're going to convince you of every reason why you shouldn't leave and why, you're never going to be able to and no one's going to hire you. You're never going to make money like this. You're already damaged goods. And then if you're in a worst case, you're going to get sued for whatever reason and you're going to be in a legal battle and people are going to be like, well, you signed a 2-year contract with me, so you have to work for 2 years. You cannot financially bind people in contracts to perform sex work for you. So hopefully that reaches the court system soon enough because that's a big one that I think people are trying to push right now is well, you signed it and you said you would do this, so you have to do it. It's I don't have to do anything, especially because, we're in the sex industry. These contracts, this is not I'm doing marketing work for you. It works a little different. So yeah, I think leaving is definitely not the easiest. You already have a mental toll and a mental battle. And then these people, they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that you stay.
Yeah. Are there additional obstacles that people face when they try to walk away from OnlyFans that others that have experienced or you yourself?
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with you buy yourself into a lifestyle that you have to upkeep. And that was a big thing for me and why I didn't fully leave until I came back home because I had bills that cost 10 grand a month, So that's another reason.
10 grand a month. This is a thing where, again, that shit isn't normal. Living on 10 grand a month isn't a normal thing. Most people don't make that. Most people don't spend that a month. And this is the problem with modern day women. It's the lifestyle that they're hooked on. So many women are hooked on a lifestyle. And this is how modern day dating is the problem, right? This is why there's problems in modern day dating because women are constantly, viewing men on the lens of you need to provide me a lifestyle. You need to provide me a certain lifestyle. And that is the problem with so many things with modern day dating. Because women constantly, they are so addicted to a lifestyle.
And that's kind of what I've been hearing. Some creators come on is they're like, well, I just bought a $5 million house. So how am I going to afford my lifestyle still if I'm not doing this? And, that's another one of the wars you go through is okay, I now have all of these expenses and I have to upkeep with them and I don't have something yet that's going to replace that. So do I just burn my entire life to the ground? I mean, that's what I did, but I understand why some people wouldn't want to do that. So yeah, I think that's another big reason why a lot of people just don't leave because they don't know what to do. And I think the whole world tells you that no one's going to want you now. No one's going to want to marry you, hire you, that you have no skills and that your life is basically ruined and you made the worst decision. And I think that's what keeps people in the industry as well is because they don't really have hope for anything else.
Yeah. Can you share a bit about how stepping away from OnlyFans affected your life and your mental health?
Yeah, I feel like it's just been a weight off my shoulders. I feel like now I can fully just step into myself and just focus on myself. And I think a lot of at least my personal journey was that I just didn't believe in myself enough. And so I wanted that crutch of money. And, because I didn't trust that what I felt called to do would actually work out. So it was kind of like a buffer. And I think now, seeing that path completely just crash and burn, I'm like, okay, now I'm still stuck in my purpose and everything. So I must just go full force. So I think it's also been a very self-transformation journey. And I just think now I'm personally way more confident than I was years ago making that decision. So that's also really helped. And yeah, I think just overall my mental, I don't have to worry about this. I mean, I do have some lingering issues that I'm just like, this is so stupid. But, and I think now I feel very empowered to talk about things. I think there's a lot of people in this industry who want me silent. Well, I know they want me silent because we were fighting. But so I think that being able to just come out and talk about it and, even helping one girl who's thinking of maybe this is the path for me or, I've had people reach out to me about how to get out of their contracts and stuff.
I also work with like one of the most amazing lawyers ever who's very called to this mission as well. So I think also doing that, I understand the purpose of that journey and being able to come back with all of this information and really just share it with people. I think that's been like the best. And that's, I don't know. It makes me almost like not grateful, but like kind of grateful that it happened. So yeah, I think my mental has been better, but no, I would never do that again. It's brutal.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing that in that way. It's so important to hear from people like you who have experienced this, because I think something you said at the beginning of that was just noting that you didn't believe in yourself enough. And this is really an industry that preys upon insecurity, right? It preys upon promising a better life.
Preys on stupidity, right? It preys on stupidity. It preys on greed. It preys on someone who has no shame. Insecurities, to be honest, let me say this, right? When you are insecure, you're not out here showing your body, right? You're not out here desiring to show your body. In my opinion, right? It's my opinion. In my opinion, when you are an insecure person, you're not out here trying to show off your body to the world. So to be honest, I think it preys on your greed. Your degenerate nature, your mindset that you have no shame. Okay. That's the problem. That's what it preys on. Your insecurities, I can question that, right? Because in my opinion, insecure people aren't, they aren't the quickest types of people to jump to showing off their nudes.
Someone will do exactly, what is spelled out for them. And I think it takes so much courage to be willing to look at that and confront that and say, this maybe actually isn't what I want to be doing. And then to be so bold as to share your story now to help others know what the
courage. I would beg to differ, right? I would beg to differ. Rich. That's funny. Rich, Eve 100% started an OF right after eating that apple. I kind of agree. I don't understand why women these days, why these women have become so materialistic. Again, it's that lifestyle. It's the danger of that lifestyle of so many women, right? That's the thing why it's become, women find this lifestyle, buying, bags, shoes, clothes, jet setting, traveling, this $100, $1 million mansion, all that shit. It's that danger.
This really is like to go through this experience, because this is something that's being so normalized and pitched to young people as a super easy, empowering, glamorous means to an end. And it's really not.
I mean, yeah, that was a lot of my journey. Like I think, it's really hard when people are like, oh, money won't make you happy. And I think everyone says it, but until you really live the experience of having everything and feeling empty, it's kind of hard to trust when people tell you that. And I think that's really what I've learned through this as well, is that all of the glitz and the glamour is.
You don't trust it because you're egotistical. This is a thing where I had to learn it, okay? I had to learn in the sense that the issue isn't that, self-reflection is so important. So you learn it where, you are being egotistical, right? You are being delusional. You think you know more than other people, right? That's egotistical. That's a narcissistic trait. You think you are right? You think you're invincible. You think that, what? Because this is the thing where you don't care. This is the thing with a lot of younger people, where they don't care about consequences.
Not going to make you happy if you are doing something that you hate and you are, empty and lacking purpose. And so that's also where the belief in myself has really come from, is like, okay, if I've been called to do something, I need to trust that calling. I need to trust myself, instead of running away and believing that a lifestyle is going to make it better and that money is going to make it better. And that if I'm able to, go to these places and do these things, that I'm going to feel better, because you're going to do that and you're going to be miserable everywhere because you're not dealing with like the root of the problem.
Yeah. It's so important to have stories like yours shared. So again, I want to thank you for being willing to share yours with us. What inspired you to start speaking out and sharing your experience publicly?
So I first talked about it December 2024. I posted a TikTok video, and I don't know what it was. I mean, I honestly think it might have been when Lily Phillips first came out with that video, and just something about seeing it just sparked something in me. And I was like, oh my God, I got to talk about this. And I was so nervous. Like I was so scared to talk about it. I was like, oh my God, because I was still in the industry, and I was like, oh, this is going to be brutal. And I was also still heavily involved in some legal matters. So I was like, oh my God, this is just terrible. But I just felt the call on my heart, and I was like, okay, if I'm feeling called to speak now, then I have to speak now. And I wrestled with that for a little bit. And I remember even talking to my therapist about it because I was like, how can I speak out about this when I'm still doing it? Like, how can I bite the hand that feeds me and then like go online? It was that like guilty conscious type of thing. So I think I just felt so called to do it that I was like, I feel called to do it for a reason. So I did it once, and that's what's kind of brought a lot of opportunities. And then I started just getting more comfortable with speaking about it. And I was like, just trying to be honest of like, okay, yes, I'm speaking about this, but like also understand like I am still in the industry for these specific reasons. And I do have an exit plan, but I want to talk about this now. I mean, there's a lot to uncover. I could talk about it forever. So
kind of disingenuous in a way, right? It's kind of disingenuous in a way where, to be honest, you're trying to use it to your advantage still. I think this is kind of like a selfish nature where, this is the problem with, like, let's say validation, or honestly clout, or whatever. You're just using it to gain attention, notoriety. You're just trying to gain eyes. It's very disingenuous.
yeah, I felt really called to do it, and I just trusted that call.
Yeah. Since you've started speaking out about this, are there specific stories or scenarios that you've shared that fans?
I think healing, it's convincing yourself, or, not even convincing yourself, but undoing all of the lies that you have already told yourself. So that like, I won't make money doing something that I love, or, nobody's going to love me after what I've done, or all men cheat, all men are like this. And having all of these ideas that come into your head after, being in this industry, I think it's been realizing, and also being around different crowds, and, not being around the people who are, necessarily in the industry or still kind of, glamored by it. So I think it's that, and just realizing like, this isn't normal. And if it was normal, I would have felt good doing it, and trusting your body that was picking up on signals, and, coming back into your body, and also removing all these ideologies that you've picked up. I think another big one is also this like feeling of money coming in fast, and understanding that, things that are going to be worth your while are going to take a long time. And it doesn't mean they're going to take.
I definitely say, right, fast money comes with fast problems, right? This is a thing where fast money comes with fast problems. This is why, again, with the other video I did, right? The criminals, the three guys, murdering a family. What is that going to get you, right? It's like, this is the thing where, like, a lot of these things are sin for a reason. This is why I find like things like this is just disingenuous, where that this is a bad thing. It's a sin. It's a vice. It's a terrible thing. So to think that you realize it afterwards is just disingenuous. This is why it shows lack of accountability, lack of self-reflection. Because to claim victimhood, to claim, courage, or any of that bullshit, I think it's disingenuous, because you knew it beforehand. So this is why a lot of times I said, like, let's say with like exes in my past, I knew shit like this, right? I blame myself 100%. I don't blame anyone else. I'm not blaming the industry. I'm not blaming this. I'm not blaming that. You chose to do it. No one forced you to do something you don't want to do. You chose to do it. You chose to do it. You chose to sign this. You chose to record that. You chose to show this. So honestly, it's on you.
10 years, but it might take, a few months, and OnlyFans is so instant. So it's also breaking these bad habits of believing that everything should just come to me immediately, and I should be able to do this immediately, and almost this like entitlement that you kind of pick up when you're in the industry because you're living in a fantasy land. So I think healing has really been like uncovering all of the lies. And then I've definitely gotten stronger like in my faith, which I don't push, Christianity or anything on anybody. I've always been very spiritual. So I've kind of just incorporated that into my spiritual life and into my spiritual practice, and trying to gain understanding of, my journey, my purpose here. Why did I make these decisions? How can we not, stay clear of making decisions that are unaligned for me in the future, and making it just this self-learning lesson.
This is why, some people say, why don't you become religious? Why don't you, because in my honest opinion, right? I always think when people talk about religion, let's say with her, right? I always feel like it's a cop-out. I always feel like it's a way to take away accountability. You know what? I'm going to repent. I'm going to, I found religion, instead of, you use that to take away accountability. I'm whatever. And I feel like it rubs me the wrong way in a way, right? It rubs me the wrong way, because now you like, it's just, I don't know. It's hard to really quantify, right? Hard to put into words. It feels disingenuous. It feels like, and again, I get it, right? You repent, you understand you're wrong, but it's like, sometimes people say that, oh, they found God after doing all these terrible things. And now God, I don't know, saved you or whatever. And I'm like, when I hear those things, it's like, it's to erase or to lessen the bad things you've done. So that's why I was like, I'm not that crazy. Remember, I say no PG. If she says that I'm gone, no God fearing and no provider.
I think has also been very healing and just learning how to understand yourself more. And then, yeah, I think body stuff is also important because when I went into the industry, I was definitely not confident in my body. But I think being in front of a camera so much, you kind of either have to fake it or you just have to learn to love your body. And so that was probably one of the only, I guess, positives was learning to love my body through that. So it's also just healing the relationship to your body, not and uncovering that like being an object thing. Cause I was like in the same mindset a lot of girls are in of I'm just an object, men just look at me to have sex with me, whatever. So it's uncovering that as well and understanding that you're way more than a body and learning to love your body and cherish your body in whatever way that looks and keeping it away from men who are not going to treat you good in any capacity. So yeah, that's definitely been a healing journey as well.
Yeah, that's really beautifully said. Thank you for sharing that. For anyone who is considering joining OnlyFans, what would you say to them? What would you want them to know?
Just believe in yourself enough to do what you're actually called to do. And that this is not a crutch. This is not a buffer. This is not going to give you the lifestyle that you want. There is an end to this and it's pretty fast and you're going to end up having to start over anyways. So learn to, believe in yourself more and get comfortable with yourself and play the long game. Things that start fast burn just as fast. And that was really, what this is. There's no shortcuts to success. And you hear that in everybody's story. And the people who do try to shortcut it, they end up losing everything and having to start over anyways. So just avoid that step. Avoid trying to, go around the maze and just go right through it. And it's not going to be easy and it's going to suck. And you're going to see people that it seems like everyone's moving faster than you. And it is what it is. That's part of it. But you have to do it right.
You would like people to know about OnlyFans or about your story?
There's a lot, but I'm trying to see how I can word this. OnlyFans avoids a lot of their responsibility, at least that I think it's their responsibility to deal with what actually happens on this platform. I mean, I know some people don't agree with holding platform owners accountable for what happens, but I think in this case, you can only hide from things for so long. And that anyone who's dealing with a matter that is, complicated, you're not alone in it. You're not the first one to go through it.
And that's the thing where I feel like, I feel like when people talk about God, right? Particularly when people who do these things, right? People love hiding behind God, but continue to sin via celebrating holidays, wearing makeup. I mean, this is the thing where it's like when I see like the hide behind God is that they committed bad acts and then say they found God, like it's something like a erasing of all the shit you've done. I was like, okay.
Nothing normal about 40-year-old men suing 20-year-olds for millions of dollars. So please reach out to people. You have every right to take control of yourself and your body and your money and your life. Nobody can take that away from you, even though they're going to try to. And I really hope that over time, certain at least restrictions or, takedowns are in place because I don't think it's fair for these. And it's not just OnlyFans, it's pretty much every sex platform that avoids accountability of what happens there. And this is, it's a breeding ground for traffickers and for
I find it funny that women that choose to sell their bodies online talks about accountability. I really do. Right? I find that delusional. I really do. Women that talk about selling their body online have the gall, the audacity to talk about accountability. Is honestly ridiculous to me.
Or exploitation and you don't know who's trafficked, you don't know who's there willingly. Most of them are not there willingly. And I really hope that over time, some, action is actually taken with stuff like this because you can't keep hiding behind a mask and calling this, artistic expression, when you're just basically allowing crime to take place.
Or freedom. You literally chose to do it. This is a thing where I don't know. I just, again, this is why it's a lack of accountability. When no one is like forcing a woman to post online. No one is forcing a woman to sign a contract. No one, right? No one is forcing a woman to do OF. This shit is always so silly to me. They hold the God card like they're hiding behind it, but we clearly see you with all your not godlike ways. Exactly. I mean, it's ridiculous. It really is. This is why it's tiring. It's tiring to listen to women, right? This is why I find women who talk about victimhood disingenuous. I find women that talk about accountability disingenuous. I find women that talk about God hypocrites, right? It's just pure delusion in so many ways. So, but women like this who have decent looks, right? They won't understand accountability because at the end of the day, who's holding them accountable? Who's holding these women accountable for their actions and words? No one. No one. No one is holding women like this accountable. They are free to live the life they want. A man will come up and take away the her consequences, or her family will take away consequences, whatever, right? So this is the craziness, right? But what do you guys think? Guys, I love ya. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being here tonight. They're so hypocritical. While they sin in other ways, like I said before, but we're supposed to ignore it. That's the thing where it's like, it's hard for me to like look at it like that, right? Where look at it where this is why, I find, I don't know, where I'm kind of critical of religion in that way, right? I feel like it's a resolving, repenting, stuff like that. It's like a washing away of, all your problems. So I don't know. I'm not crazy about it, but that's it for tonight. That is it for tonight. You guys are amazing, right? You guys are amazing. I love you guys. All right. Please check out my other videos. Please check out my other videos. Please please subscribe if you haven't. Please do that. Please comment on my other videos if you can. That would be loving. All right. That would be lovely. Artie, thank you for being here tonight, my brother. I love you. And the church wonders why they have no men. Again, this is why, right? Men sees it. It's, it's just disingenuous. It's dishonest. It's just, I don't know. It breeds weakness, in my opinion, right? I believe it breeds weakness. So I don't know, but that's my view, right? Steve, thank you for being here. Red Door, my sister, I love you. Zyrax, on my other channel, I love you, my sister. Thank you for the dono, all right? Thank you for the love, all right? I love you. Thank you so much. Big Bars, I love you, my sissum. I love you, my brother. Rich, what's up? Thank you. Metaphysical, thank you, my brother. Thank you. Red Door, Real Rain, I love you. Big Bars, Terminator. Alvi, I love you. I love you. Thank you for being here tonight, right? Thank you for stopping by. I always love seeing you. Always love seeing you in the chat, my brother. David, thank you for being here. Jeremiah, I love you, my brother. Jeremiah, thank you for being here. Terminator, Mr. Smith, you guys are amazing. I love you. I love you. Thank you guys for being here. Anyone else? Any more shout outs? Any more shout outs? I think that's it. I think that's it for the shout outs. Yeah. Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. All right. If I don't see you guys before that, Merry Christmas, everyone. All right. Hope you guys have a good holiday. All right. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. All right. Later, guys.